The Blanche Marquis family, an ancient and illustrious noble house of the empire. A powerful force in aristocratic society. Erica burst into the study. Lord Jonathan, please. My mother did nothing wrong. She's been locked in the underground prison for over a week. Please let her go. Jonathan sat behind his desk, his fingers tapping lightly on the surface. That depends on your answer. He leaned forward. What will you do? Will you obey my orders? 2 keys were tossed out, clattering to the floor in front of Erica. My mother, whom Lady Erica regarded as a wet nurse. Erica, who had come to this estate, clenched her fists so tightly her nails dug into her palms. I will obey any command you give, my lord. Please, save my mother. That was the worst choice I could have made. The house of Marquis Blanche had one precious only daughter. She lost her mother at birth. Frail and often ill, she had never once left the estate. Erica Blanche. And the one who became like a mother to her was my own mother. Erica knelt on a stool by the window, staring outside. She suddenly shoved away her tray. Stop talking. I don't want this. She glared at me. Bring me something else. Julia cried out, Miss. Erica violently flung her hand. This garbage, you eat it yourself. The tray flew out and crashed hard onto the floor. Perhaps because she was weak and sickly and endlessly pampered, Erica Blanche had a shockingly violent temper for a child. We had nowhere else to go. We could only endure her tantrums in silence. Mother held me, still very young, and cried soundlessly by the window. Though she did her utmost, Erica's bullying only worsened day by day. At last, Jonathan looked at Julia. Julia, I'm glad you stayed this long. He gave a faint smile. Erica seems very attached to her wet nurse. Then his tone changed. That reminds me. Isn't your daughter's name Erica too? Julia stood still, her hands folded before her, saying nothing. A servant must not share the same name as her master. Shouldn't be changed? He even wanted to take away the only thing my father left me. My name, Erica. Julia gripped the hem of her skirt. I am sorry. I can't do that. He closed his eyes. If my daughter must change her name simply because it is the same as my lady's, then I can only resign from this position. Jonathan stroked his chin. To be this stubborn over a mere name. But it was true that no one else had endured Erica this long. After a moment of thought, he said, I didn't expect you to be so firm. Very well. Jonathan showed a false smile. The child may keep her name, but I hope you won't call your daughter by name in front of my daughter to avoid unnecessary trouble. Erica stood by the door. Yes, I'll be careful in front of Miss Erica. Even if I hated it, for mother's sake, I had to endure. The Marquis' estate was where mother worked, and I was only living there under someone else's roof. Erica's hand gripped the edge of her clothes tightly. Julia gently patted Lily's back. Let's go. Lily, Erica answered softly, okay. They turned and left. Erica's figure appeared from behind the door. She had been listening to everything. Lady Blanche. Julia gently stroked Erica's head. Erica's cheeks reddened. So it was Miss who wanted me to change my name. And so, we lived in the Marquis' estate for many years. Then suddenly, Erica Blanche's health began to worsen. Jonathan rushed to the bedside. How could this happen? She was perfectly fine a week ago. The doctor replied with a trembling voice. While your lordship was away, the young lady said she wanted to see the outside and went out. Impossible. Jonathan turned to the doctor. How long until she recovers? The doctor's expression was grave. Judging from her condition, is hard to say. In the worst case, it may even be incurable. The problem was the engagement to the house of Duke Cliff. On the eve of the court-sanctioned marriage with the ducal house, Erica collapsed. The Duke's family's only condition was that the marriage be concluded as soon as possible. The doctor looked worried. She needs to rest and recover at home for some time. Erica's illness may cause the engagement to be canceled. Jonathan's face turned ashen. This is a disaster. The marriage to the ducal family must not be delayed. He roared, don't you understand how much wealth and power this alliance can bring? He clicked his tongue in contempt. I treasured her so much only because she had finally become useful. We can worry about her health later. The marriage must be dealt with first. If only someone could take her place. Take her place. Jonathan's gaze suddenly shifted beyond the door. He remembered a girl. A girl about Erica's age. A girl with a similar build. A girl who could play the role of Erica Blanche. Most importantly, a girl whose weakness he knew all too well. The wet nurse's daughter, Erica. Julia collapsed to her knees, clutching desperately at Jonathan's trouser leg. My lord. She lifted tear-filled eyes. Please, please save Erica. In the end, I accepted the Marquis' offer, wagering my mother's life on it. Time passed until the day of the wedding with Duke Cliff. The Marquis prepared everything, from the Blanche family family's signature red hair to etiquette lessons that would make me look like a true noble lady. The carriage slowly approached. The wedding had arrived. Could I hide the truth until the end? I wasn't even a real noble. Erica let out a deep sigh. A hand suddenly seized her shoulder. At this rate, you're determined to be found out. Erica turned back in fright. The head maid of the Blanche house, Madame Bompieu, was staring at her coldly. I believe I told you this before. Only commoners sigh that loudly. Erica immediately lowered her head. I am sorry, Madame Bompieu. I'll be careful. Bompieu suddenly grabbed Erica by the hair. I also told you not to lower your head, so carelessly. Her voice was icy. Since you accepted this task, then play the part of the real Miss Erica properly. If you tarnish the Blanche family's reputation because of this, the ducal house must never notice even the slightest flaw. Erica answered tremblingly. Yes. The carriage rattled onward. As Erica's stand-in, I endured from the age of 10 until adulthood. Jonathan had once said not to worry about the real Miss Erica. Once my daughter recovers, he said, she will secretly help with my affairs. That will be more useful than any marriage. Erica's shoes touched solid ground. Yes, there was no turning back now. I had to harden my heart. For now, I only had to get through this wedding safely. Meanwhile, in the northern forest, a luxurious carriage had become stuck in the mud. The coachman knelt. Your Grace, I deeply apologize. The ground behind us is too soft. The wheels are sunk too deep. I'll call for a repairman at once. A young man with black hair and reddish-brown eyes stepped down from the carriage. His expression was indifferent. No need to rush. It's not an important wedding anyway. I had already arrived at the church an hour ago, but the Duke's party still had not appeared. How much longer were we supposed to wait? Erica, dressed in a thin gown, trembled in the March wind. Her skin felt as if it were being cut by knives. When are we going inside? She clenched her skirt nervously. In the Angelica Empire, there was an old custom. The bride and groom had to enter the church together. Otherwise, not only would they fail to receive the goddess's blessing, their marriage would be cursed with misfortune. But for a grand duke to be this late. Bompieu turned around, the cold wind brushing past her hair. Erica's heart tightened. Was he deliberately late because he was being forced into this marriage? I was getting more and more nervous. Bompieu glanced at her coldly. Stop trembling so pathetically. It's fortunate that you're the one who came. If the real Miss Erica had come and been made to wait like this, then the ducal family would be showing that they do not regard Marquise Blanche at all. Erica answered softly, yes, Madame Bompieu. She clasped her hands together and breathed out a cloud of white. What if he never comes? The Marquise family and the ducal house were never on good terms to begin with. But if he doesn't come, what will happen to Mother? Inside the church, the priest looked outside. It seems the Duke is late. It must be very cold waiting outside. Erica forced a smile. I'm all right. I just hope nothing happened to the Duke's party on the road. Yes, for Mother's sake, I can endure this much cold. The priest gave a gentle smile. You are truly kind-hearted, my lady, but I don't think you need worry anymore. Erica looked up in confusion. What? Because they've arrived now. The priest pointed into the distance. A carriage was racing toward them. That was the carriage of the Ecliffe family. Erica's gaze was fixed on it. So that's him, the man who was about to become my husband. The carriage door opened, and he stepped down. Sebastian Ecliffe, Grand Duke of the Ecliffe house. His polished leather boots touched the ground. He was tall and striking. His cold gaze swept over the scene, and the air seemed to freeze instantly. Erica's toes trembled against the stone floor. Oh no, seeing him in person, I'm actually starting to shake. Calm down. You can do this. Sebastian spoke quietly. My apologies for keeping you waiting. His attendant nodded. Yes, Your Grace. He stepped forward. Erica bowed respectfully. I offer you my greetings, Sebastian Ecliffe, Grand Duke. I am Erica Blanche of the House of Blanche. Sebastian looked at her in silence, his gaze as sharp as a blade. To deceive the ducal house. Erica's pupils contracted sharply. He noticed? Sebastian spoke coldly. In that case, I will return at once. What? What do you mean? Was my greeting strange? I practiced it so many times. How could he see through me so quickly? Erica's heart pounded wildly. Had my disguise been exposed? Did he know I wasn't the real Erica Blanche? Time returned to the day of the wedding at the Blanche Marquise estate. Erica held a pitch-black bead in her hand. Father, what is this? Magnus' eyes were cold. When did I allow you to question my orders? Put away your foolish curiosity. Swallow it. Erica lowered her head. I am sorry. Yes, from the very beginning, I never had a choice. Play the role of a fake bride. Then swallow that cursed bead. Erica put the bead in her mouth. A burning agony pierced straight through her throat. She clutched at her neck. What is this? It hurts. Magnus shot to his feet. Erica fell to her knees in agony, coughing violently. Magnus' voice echoed in Erica's mind. If you dare reveal the secret that you're not my daughter, that bead will explode in your throat. If you do not wish to die in agony before seeing your mother again, then watch every word and action. Tears streamed down Erica's face. Yes, father. He was more dangerous and terrifying than anyone I had ever known. I would never be able to escape his control. What do I do? What should I say? Erica's heart pounded. She forced herself to calm down. Bonpew stepped forward. Greetings to your grace. I am the chief housekeeper of the Blanche family. Bonpew bowed respectfully. Bonpew had warned me that there must not be a single mistake. She pressured Erica with her eyes. I do not understand what you mean, your grace. How would we dare deceive the ducal house? Bonpew stepped in. Do you doubt the house of Blanche? Sebastian's gaze turned to her. To accuse a lady without any basis, is that not unreasonable? Unreasonable? Sebastian's expression changed at once. Is this how the Marquis taught her servants? To interrupt and talk back to a Grand Duke as they please? The air froze instantly. Erica covered her throat in fear. The atmosphere had become so tense. Bonpew represented the Marquis. If they came into conflict, the wedding would be over. Absolutely not. Erica gathered her courage. Your grace. Sebastian's eyes turned back to her, faintly questioning. Erica clenched her fists tightly. It is my failure to discipline my servant properly. I apologize to you on her behalf. Please forgive her. Sebastian's eyes lingered on her face. At last, he said, before worrying about your servant, you ought to worry about yourself first. Erica's cheeks flushed red. What did he mean by that? Sebastian turned to his attendant. Bring the blanket. The attendant answered immediately, yes, your grace. Thank goodness. His anger seemed to have eased. Erica let out a secret sigh of relief. The attendant handed the blanket to Erica. Lady Blanche, it is still cold outside. Please use this to cover yourself. Erica accepted it. Thank you. Sebastian spoke again. My apologies for making you wait. One of the carriage wheels broke on the way here, so we were delayed. Erica replied softly, it's all right. I'm only glad you arrived safely. So that was it. At least he wasn't late because he hated this marriage. Sebastian continued, I did not mean to accuse you. Mississippi Erica looked up in confusion. What? Please forgive me. It is only that you do not seem to match your age. In this empire, children over 10 can legally marry. So he thought I had lied about my age. I may be small, but I really am already 10. The attendant quietly said to Sebastian, not everyone grows as quickly as you do. Sebastian looked thoughtful. I see. Very well. I've kept you waiting long enough. Before it gets colder, let us go inside, Lady Erica. Sebastian extended his hand. Erica's heart gave a violent thump. The moment I take his hand, I will truly be married. As Erica Blanche, not as myself. Erica's hand trembled slightly as she slowly reached toward Sebastian. Yes, Sebastian's deep gaze rested on her. If I just endure until I come of age, I can save Mother. Erica steeled herself. I ask for your care from this day on, your grace. This time, I have to leave a good impression. She looked up and smiled brightly. The priest's voice echoed through the sanctuary. Do you swear to become husband and wife and remain together forever? Erica and Sebastian stood side by side. In a sacred place where lies could not remain, they answered in unison. Yes, we swear it. The priest declared, the wedding of Sebastian Acliffe and Erica Blanche is hereby concluded. As both are still underage, the rite of the wedding night will be held after they come of age. So in the end, it had truly come to this false marriage, teetering on the brink. Erica's eyes were hollow. Sebastian said farewell to the others. Then, Father, I will take my leave. The priest bowed. It has been a long time, young master. I shall pay my respects later. Erica also lowered herself politely. I shall take my leave as well. Thank you for your kindness, your excellency. Erica grabbed the edge of Bonpew's clothing. I hope I can see you again next time. When did he say he was leaving? I have to say it quickly, before it's too late. Then please hurry along, or you'll catch cold. The bishop suddenly spoke. Please wait a moment, everyone. I would like to bestow a blessing upon this young lady. Would that be all right? Erica froze. A blessing? If it was the bishop's blessing, could it be? A bishop's blessing was a special power formed from divine energy. It was said that the stronger the priest's divine power, the more good fortune the blessing would bring. A bishop's blessing was extremely rare. Only the imperial family and ducal houses received it. Could I really accept such a blessing? Erica was at a loss. I'm fine, Your Grace. I'm not even the real Erica. I don't deserve to receive something so precious. Sebastian looked at her. Time waits for no one. Accept it. It is a rare opportunity. Madame Bompieux looked troubled. Your Excellency, she still isn't used to. The bishop smiled and asked, Miss Erica, are you worried that it might hurt? Some people find it painful because they are unfamiliar with holy power. But for a pure soul such as yours, it will only feel refreshing. Erica lowered her head. Yes, Your Excellency. It never even occurred to me that it might hurt. No matter what, I cannot keep stealing what belongs to someone else. Erica gripped her skirt tightly. With the Duke here, it would be difficult to refuse. Erica lifted her head, her eyes firm. Then I will gladly accept it. Right now, I can only focus on what I can do. The bishop's voice was solemn and warm. I bless the road ahead of you with light. May you endure hardship and at last find happiness. Erica closed her eyes and clasped her hands in devout prayer. May this false marriage, may my reunion with Mother, may everything be resolved safely. Sebastian watched her quietly, a faint and unreadable change passing through his eyes. The carriage jolted along the forest road. Now the wedding was truly over. Erica sat in the carriage, her nerves strung tight the whole time. She lightly touched her cheek, but thanks to the blessing, I felt much better. The Duke said he was going on a honeymoon, and I would be separated from Madame Bompieux as well. The carriage rolled away from the sanctuary. At last, I could relax a little. Erica slowly closed her eyes. Her eyelids felt heavy. Leaning against the window, she gradually drifted to sleep. Mother, I miss you so much. Suddenly the carriage shook violently. Bompieux's face turned pale. This blasted carriage is shaking so much I'm going to be sick. Bompieux sat restlessly inside, her stomach churning. A duchess actually had to ride in the same carriage as a servant. They hadn't prepared a separate carriage for the servants, so she had no choice but to sit with her. Bompieux thanked Sebastian. Thank you very much. Inside the carriage, Bompieux folded her hands. The Marquis's wife ordered me to watch her. I must not let her leave my side for even a moment. Bompieux looked at the backs of Sebastian and Erica. Once we reached the territory, she thought, I'll have Mother protect her safety. In that case, I only need to get the Duchess to come find me. A calculating smile curved at Bompieux's lips. I only need to put a little something in her wine. Erica rubbed her sleepy eyes and yawned. Have we arrived? I haven't slept this peacefully in a long time. Erica answered softly. Yes. May I ask who it is? I am the maid assigned to attend the Duchess. Erica jolted awake. Right. Pull yourself together. You can't let your guard down. A voice came from outside the carriage. We will rest here today. If it is convenient, please come out for your meal. Erica stuck her head out the window. Yes, I'll come right away. If Madame Bompieux sees me like this, she'll definitely scold me. A relieved smile appeared on Erica's face. The servants were busy carrying luggage. Everyone looked occupied. One servant said to another, Help me carry this, will you? That one over there. Erica saw a servant carrying a heavy trunk. She stepped forward. Do you need help? A cold voice sounded from behind her. Miss Erica, come here for a moment. Erica's body stiffened. Before she could even think, her body moved on its own. She turned and saw Bompieux. Erica's eyes widened. Bompieux said, Why is a noble lady doing a commoner's work? Ever since the wedding ended, I haven't seen the Duchess again. She's definitely making a fool of me. Bompieux's tone was sharp. If you're sorry, then why do it at all? You should go tell the Duke to give you a different carriage. Erica looked puzzled. A different carriage? What do you mean? Bompieux's voice was cold. He's just the Marquis's bastard son. Are you really going to stand by and let the Marquis's daughter be treated like this? Erica was startled. That was a direct order from the young Duke. How could I possibly? Bompieux pressed on. Whether it's me or him, you should speak to him first. Bompieux grabbed Erica by the wrist. Erica said, Enough. I have to ride in this carriage. Being ordered around like this, threatened like this. I'm sick of it. I know Madame doesn't need to keep watching me. But Erica took a deep breath. To others, I'm just an attendant, so I'm easy to overlook. I really do want to run away. Yes, once we reach the Duke's territory, maybe I can find a way. In the Duke's lands, even Madame Bompieux won't be able to disregard orders so easily. Erica gathered her courage and walked toward Sebastian. Young Duke. Sebastian turned around. Erica spoke. In that case, there's something I'd like to tell you today. Maybe I can get the young Duke to send Madame Bompieux away. Sebastian's adjutant interrupted them. We're about to dine first. Sebastian said to Erica, very well. What is it? Erica explained. No, it's that the head maid wants to ride in the same carriage as me. I thought this matter had already been discussed, had it not? Erica smiled awkwardly. Yes, that's right. The young Duke doesn't like Madame Bompue either, does he? Since your Grace's opinion hasn't changed, then unfortunately, there's nothing to be done. He already refused clearly. The head maid shouldn't come to me again. Sebastian's gaze shifted elsewhere. Miss, why was she so worried just now? That servant is the head maid, right? A faint sneer curved Sebastian's lips. What a peculiar master-servant relationship. Usually, when a noble lady asks for the head maid to share her carriage, it is for close attendance. But from what I just heard, she seemed to be asking on the head maid's behalf rather than expressing her own wishes. Sebastian looked at Bompue's back as a strange thought took shape in his mind. Sebastian pondered. He attended the wedding in place of the Marquis. The pattern was already obvious. In noble households lacking a mistress, it was common enough for the head maid to rise in power. Marquis Blanche had long remained unmarried after his wife's death. This head maid's authority likely exceeded even that of his own daughter, Erica. But even if her standing in the ducal house were low, for the daughter of a marquis to be so cautious toward a mere head maid was absurd. Sebastian's eyes settled on Erica. He said nothing. Can't you handle even something this small? Erica's face instantly flushed. She was speechless. Erica clenched her fists. He must think I should have acted more like a marquis's daughter. He must think I'm pitiful, unable to control even a servant. But if I wanted the Duke's help, I had to be honest. Embarrassing as it was, I still needed to become stronger on my own. Could your Grace help me just this once? Sebastian's gaze sharpened. Not that she can't handle it, but that she needs to become stronger. Those words are more interesting than I expected. A slight smile touched his lips. I understand. If it is to help you, then shall I simply dispose of her? I dislike people around me who don't know their place. Erica was horrified. He was going to get rid of Madame Bompue right now. She hurriedly spoke. I would still like her to come with us to the ducal residence. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I beg you. Sebastian examined her. What use is that woman to you? Erica hesitated. Well, my father might worry if the head maid were sent back before I even reached the ducal territory. Erica's thoughts raced. The head maid was sent to watch me. If she were sent back now, the Marquis would grow suspicious. It might even bring trouble upon my mother. So I had to bring her to the ducal residence. Erica looked up, meeting Sebastian's eyes steadily. I understand. Sebastian spoke flatly. But you must clearly tell the head maid that she is not permitted to ride in the same carriage as the Duchess. Erica clutched his sleeve tightly. She nodded. Yes, I'll tell her. Erica ran off unsteadily. Sebastian's eyes followed her. Jonathan Blanche's only daughter. They say he treasures her like a jewel. Then why send a woman like that to attend her? And insist that the head maid accompany them all the way to the ducal estate, as if under some special order. Yet she didn't seem like the type to be completely controlled, either. Then I'll watch a little longer. A faint smile appeared on Sebastian's lips. He murmured with interest, I'd like to see how she behaves once she reaches the ducal estate. Erica let out a white breath into the night air. It's so cold. Several days had already passed on the journey to the ducal territory. Ever since the Duke flatly refused her, Madame Bompue had stopped pestering me. Occasionally she would drag me into a corner to complain, but that soon stopped too. Without my noticing, she had become unusually busy. I only saw her at mealtimes now. I just hoped we could reach the ducal residence safely. A voice broke through her thoughts. Your Grace. Erica came back to herself. A knight approached carrying a tray. Your meal. Erica accepted it. Ah, thank you. Erica looked at the food in the bowl. Why is there so much? Erica held a bowl heaped full of stew. She looked a little lost. Sir, I think maybe my tray got switched with yours. The knight looked puzzled. What? Erica explained. It just looks like much more than usual. He smiled. That really is yours. Your appetite has been good lately, so we made you a little extra today. Another knight laughed and chimed in. You should eat more so you can grow strong and healthy. That's right, ma'am. You're far too tiny. Erica's cheeks turned red, embarrassed. But the knights must be hungrier than I am. Please give some of them too. So, ma'am, don't worry about them. Just eat your fill. No wonder you're so small. The knights laughed heartily. Don't worry about that. They're all big eaters. Each of them has probably already had 3 bowls. Erica answered quietly. Yes, She picked up her spoon. Can I really finish all this by myself? But if I eat all of it, Madame Bompieu will probably be furious. She always says a noble lady should eat only a tiny amount. If I eat this much in front of all these people. Erica's eyes moved past the crowd and found Madame Bompieu. She'll definitely scold me again. Erica was eating her stew when Sebastian suddenly spoke. Hey, you there, headmaid. Madame Bompieu jumped. Igriegagis. Sebastian's tone was icy. We don't have enough drinking water. Since you finished eating, go fetch some from the nearby stream. Madame Bompieu froze where she stood, pointing at herself. You mean me? A cold glint flashed in Sebastian's eyes. Yes. Is there a problem? Madame Bompieu ground her teeth. No, I understand. What an insolent brat. She set down her bowl, sprang to her feet, and strode into the forest. Sebastian turned to Erica. There, Lady Erica, now please eat in peace. Erica looked at him, then at her bowl. It was Sebastian. Was he being considerate of me? Erica looked up at Sebastian's profile, warmth rising in her heart. Erica looked at Sebastian. So young master has been taking care of me all along? I thought he was indifferent to me. The knights are kind to me too. Maybe life in the grand ducal household won't be as bad as I imagined. Warmth filled Erica's heart. She lifted her spoon, ready to enjoy her dinner. Suddenly, an ominous feeling came from deep within the forest. She turned sharply toward the darkness among the trees. Erica's heart tightened. Wasn't that exactly the direction Madame Bompieu had gone? She grabbed Sebastian's sleeve, her voice trembling slightly. Young master, something feels wrong nearby. Sebastian frowned. Wrong? What are you talking about all of a sudden? Erica and Sebastian both looked toward the depths of the forest. Then a scream tore through the night. A few minutes earlier, by the stream, Bompieu had plunged the bucket into the water. She gnashed her teeth. Damn that green little brat. Bompieu walked alone through the woods. And now he actually ordered me to fetch water. To draw drinking water for this many people all by myself? How many trips is that supposed to take? And that little bitch too. She just stood there when the young master was speaking. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Bompieu stirred the bucket hard. Next time I get the chance, I'll make them pay. Suddenly she stopped, her attention caught by a plant growing to the west. What's that? Isn't that the plant that made the maids all have stomachaches last time? A dark look flashed in Bompieu's eyes. Right? Just a stomachache. If it accidentally gets mixed into the drinking water, it won't be such a big problem. A vicious smile spread across her face. I'll make them pay for tormenting me like this. Bompieu yanked up the plant, crushed it viciously, and threw it into the bucket. She was grinning smugly when suddenly a branch snapped behind her. She whipped around. Who? A shrill scream ripped through the night. Ah, help! The scream alarmed the camp. Sebastian immediately gave the order. Everyone except the guard unit, highest alert. The knights answered in unison. Yes. Erica's face went white. She grabbed Sebastian. Young master, that voice just now, it sounded like the headmaid. Madame Bompieu is in trouble. Could it be connected to the strange feeling I sensed earlier? Sebastian turned, expression grave. I'm going with the knights to investigate. He looked at Erica. It's dangerous outside. Stay here with the guards until it's safe. A guard turned to Erica. Lady Erica, please get into the carriage. Erica came back to herself. Yes. She was restless. This sense of dread wouldn't go away. It's my fault Madame Bompieu went into that forest. And if something really happened to her? A roar sounded from the woods. A monster has appeared. One of the knights shouted. Everyone, over here. The knights drew their swords, preparing for battle. At present, there's only one. Regroup. Archers, ready. We need fire arrows. Have you found any sign of the headmaid? A knight reported to Sebastian. Young master, it seems she was already devoured by the monster before we arrived. We found fragments of her clothing nearby. I never imagined this would happen. It'll be hard to explain this to the lady now. Sebastian clicked his tongue. Have you found the barrier the monster came from? The knight answered, yes. Confirmed, it is directly behind the monster. Sebastian issued the order. Before more monsters appear, I'll close the barrier first. Once the barrier disappears, the monster's power will weaken. Then everyone attacks. The knights replied together. Yes, young master. The knights shouted, protect the young master. Sebastian took a small bottle from his coat. Good thing I brought holy water. He pulled out the stopper and flung the holy water toward the barrier behind the monster. This must end quickly. The purple barrier began to shrink. The knights shouted their report. The barrier is closing. The monster's movements are slowing. Sebastian gave the order for the full assault. Now, Everyone, fire the flaming arrows. The arrows whistled toward the monster. It let out a howl of pain. The knights shouted, "The monster is down. Put out the fire. Don't let it spread through the forest." Sebastian looked at the scrap of cloth on the ground. Was this the only trace left by the head maid? He picked up the cloth and turned away. "Good work. We're going back." The knights answered in unison. "Yes." Hearing footsteps, Erica leaned out from the carriage. "If you're cold, you should stay inside the carriage." Erica saw Sebastian. She asked with a trembling voice, "Young master." The head maid. Sebastian's expression was heavy. "The head maid is dead. Regrettably, we were unable to recover her body." He opened his hand to reveal the blood-stained cloth. "This was the only thing we found nearby." Erica's heart jolted violently. This was Madame Bompue's clothing. She trembled. "Dead? How?" Sebastian looked at her. "Since you are now one of the North, there are some things you should know." Erica looked up blankly. "What?" Sebastian explained, "Recently, strange vortices have begun appearing throughout the North. They release throbbing dark violet energy and spit out monsters. We call them barriers. The imperial family and the church are investigating in secret, but the cause remains unclear. Until now, they had only occasionally appeared near the Grand Duchy. But fate is cruel. A barrier appeared exactly where the head maid had gone." Erica's pupils shrank. She gripped the scrap of cloth tightly, her heart pounding. "No." Sebastian watched her. Does she really know nothing? This marriage was pushed through by the Marquis, using that secret to pressure the imperial house. I assumed his daughter would know. Yet the place she pointed out earlier was exactly where the monster appeared. Could she have sensed the presence of the barrier by instinct? Erica looked at him. "Young master." Sebastian looked away. Her fear seemed genuine, as if she truly knew nothing. "It seems I'll have to keep an eye on her for now." He allowed a quiet sigh. The interior of the ducal residence is safe, so there is no need to worry. But new barriers may appear at any time. We must move quickly. If the head maid had any belongings, you should retrieve them now. Erica shuddered all over. She lowered her head. Thank you." Erica returned to the carriage. She sat on the seat, Madame Bompue's trunk beside her. "Barriers. Monsters. I've never heard of any of this. Will they keep appearing in the Grand Duchy from now on? I didn't see one with my own eyes, but if a monster can kill a person so easily, it must be terrifying. Did the Marquis know about this in advance?" Erica coughed lightly. "Bompue never taught me anything about monsters. She only said not to be afraid. Once inside the ducal estate, I'd be safe. All I had to do was play the role of the fake bride properly. The hair dye is still plentiful, so," she snapped the trunk shut, "I have to deal with all this on my own." The carriage rolled toward the grand ducal residence and came to a slow stop beneath the evening sun. Inside the ducal estate, the servants whispered among themselves through the windows. "Young master has returned. I wonder what the new young duchess is like." A knock sounded at the door. Outside, the butler announced, "Your Grace, it is I." A low voice answered, "Enter." The butler stepped into the room. "To report, young master has just returned from the wedding." The Grand Duke stood with his back to him, his tone flat. "Is that so?" He turned around. At last, his face was revealed. That detestable woman, Blanche's bloodline. Erica stepped into the Grand Ducal residence. So this is the home of the Grand Duke of Cliff. The building is magnificent. The servants stood in rows to welcome them. The butler at the front bowed to Sebastian. "Young master, you must be tired from the journey." The butler turned to Erica, his gaze assessing. "I presume this is the young duchess." He placed a hand over his chest and bowed slightly. "It is our first meeting. I am Vincent Dio, chief steward of this household." Erica replied a little awkwardly, "I'm Erica." Everyone knew the ducal house, and the Marquis family were on poor terms. I had expected a cold reception. Erica quietly let out a sigh of relief. At least they did not openly show hostility. Sebastian said to the steward, "It is already late. Escort my wife to her room at once. I will go see father first." Vincent bowed. "Yes, young master." He turned to Erica. "Young duchess, your room has already been prepared, and the servants will carry your luggage. Please go inside and rest." A young maid with brown hair in a coiled bun stepped forward. "I am Joanna, the maid assigned to attend you personally. I will guide you." Erica thanked her softly. Thank you." Joanna led Erica down the corridor to a splendid room. "Wow, am I really going to live in a place this nice? It's even prettier than Miss Erica Blanche's room." Erica looked around. If only I could live here with Mother. She gently touched the soft sofa. Mother. A knock came from outside the door. A man's voice sounded. Your Grace, pardon the interruption. This is the luggage you brought from the carriage. Erica startled from her thoughts and hurried to her feet. Ah, yes. Please come in. Steward. Vincent entered, followed by two servants carrying luggage. He looked at Erica's only trunk. Your Grace, was this all the luggage in the carriage? Will another luggage wagon be arriving later? Erica panicked slightly. Of course. How could a marquis's daughter have only this little luggage? I simply brought less on purpose. She forced a smile. I assumed the fashions here would differ from those in the capital. I've heard a Cliff City is the most prosperous city after the capital. I'm looking forward to it. Did I handle that well enough? Fortunately, this was a question I had anticipated. Vincent looked at her expressionlessly. I see. He gave a slight nod. Very well. Then I shall have your luggage arranged. Erica quickly reached out to stop him. Ah, no need. I'm very tired right now. I'd like to sort it tomorrow. Vincent glanced at the hour. Ah, it is indeed late. Then I will have the servants withdraw. Please rest well. He bowed again. If you need anything, please ring the bell. All right, thank you. Vincent led the servants out and the door closed softly behind them. Erica let out a long breath. Phew, that was close. No matter what, I absolutely cannot let them find the hair dye. She opened the trunk. Inside, bottles of red liquid were lined up neatly. Before the trunk is open tomorrow, I have to hide these first. The night had grown deep. Sebastian stood in the empty corridor. I was only gone a few days, and the work has already piled up like a mountain. He stopped in front of Erica's door. The footsteps abruptly ceased. Inside the room, Erica was just about to get up when she suddenly heard movement outside. She turned back warily. Who was it? He watched Erica's figure as she stepped out of the room. Hey, where are you going this late at night? There was no response. She simply kept walking straight ahead. Something was off. Even when I called her, she didn't react. Sebastian frowned. If she needed something, she should have rung the bell. Where is she going so late at night? Sebastian quickly followed and grabbed her by the arm. Lady Erica, her body went limp and tilted backward. Sebastian caught her in his arms. She's asleep. He picked Erica up and gently laid her on the bed. Is this sleepwalking? If Father finds out about this. Sebastian gazed at Erica lying on the bed. The Marquis might use it as an excuse, claiming his daughter is flawed and demand the annulment of the marriage. And yet even so, she had always seemed so strong. A tear slipped from the corner of Erica's tightly shut eye. Silently, she murmured, Mother. Sebastian's expression turned complicated. What kind of dream was she having to cry so sadly? So she had been hiding emotions like these all along. He tucked the blanket around Erica. Looks like I'll be staying up tonight. If anyone else discovers this, it'll be troublesome. Sebastian turned and quietly closed the door behind him. Click. The next morning, sunlight filled the courtyard. How strange. Erica stood at the stairs. There was no one around. Where had everyone gone? I rang the bell several times, but no one came, so I came out to take a look. Did something happen? She fell into thought. There should be plenty of servants in a grand ducal mansion. But yesterday, only 4 people came to receive me. Are they deliberately ignoring me? Erica heard voices coming from the distance. Ah, there were people over there. 2 maids were talking. One complained, the young madam didn't say anything last night. How would we know whether she wanted breakfast? She's probably still asleep. Erica peeked out from behind the door. Excuse me. The maids turned around. One of them looked her over. Who are you? I've never seen you before. The other maid whispered, Hey, I heard the new madam arrived yesterday. They looked Erica up and down. Ah, so you're the new madam's maid, right? You can tell just by the way you're dressed. A maid handed Erica a basin of water. Ah, I see. You came to fetch washing water for the young madam, didn't you? Here. Erica took the basin. Aw, no, that's not. The maid snickered. What is it? Too heavy? Or are you so hungry you don't have any strength? One of the maids stuffed a piece of bread into Erica's pocket. Take it. It's leftover bread. Eat it later. Thank you. I missed my chance to explain. If I say now that I'm the new madam who arrived yesterday, this is going to get very awkward. I should just go back first. Erica turned to leave. Ah, I think the bell is broken. Could you let someone know? The maids laughed even harder. Oh my, so the bell was broken. We thought you were being ignored. How pitiful. They answered carelessly. Oh, that really is serious. Thank you for telling us. A moment later, Vincent hurried over. Joanna, what happened? He turned to the 2 maids. Have you seen the young madam? The young madam? I only went to the washroom for a moment, and she was gone. The maids looked at each other. What? The young madam just came to get washing water. Vincent pressed further. The young madam you saw, was she that short girl with red curls? She said she was hungry, so I gave her some leftover bread. Vincent's face went pale. In no way. He suddenly bolted out. My lady, you're here. Erica had returned to her room. She was wiping her face with a wet towel, water dripping steadily. She looked up. Her eyes were full of confusion. What's wrong? Erica wiped her dress and asked in puzzlement. Why were you looking for me so urgently? Did something happen this early in the morning? Vincent bowed slightly. My deepest apologies. I was in such a hurry to confirm the situation that I was rude. He glanced at the bread on the table. Fortunately, she had not touched it yet. Vincent let out a breath of relief. Thank goodness I got here before anything truly went wrong. He straightened up. It's nothing serious. I only came to ask what your ladyship would like for breakfast. Breakfast? Does that need to be specially prepared? Erica's cheeks turned slightly red. Eating in my room is fine. Of course. To think we assumed a noble young lady would be satisfied with a piece of bread. What a foolish idea. Vincent took the wet towel from Erica's hand. Understood. I'll have this cleaned up right away. He turned to the maid behind him. Joanna, is there something you wish to say? The maid, Joanna, spoke cautiously. My lady, if I may, could I ask you something? Erica turned her head. Yes. What is it? Joanna lowered her eyes to the basin. When I was looking for you just now, I happened to overhear something. Did you go fetch washing water yourself? Erica looked a little embarrassed. The bell seemed to be broken, and there was no one outside to help, so I just went myself. Vincent froze instantly. He gripped the basin tightly. I repeatedly warned them not to give Marchioness Blanche any excuse. If the young madam makes trouble over this, I won't have a single excuse. How am I supposed to report this to the Grand Duke now? Erica smiled. I'm completely fine. You arranged everything so well that I was able to spend the night comfortably. Thanks to you, I slept wonderfully. Joanna looked at her with emotion. My lady, from now on, I'll work even harder. Erica smiled and nodded. Thank you. Watching this, Vincent solemnly declared, I will deal with this at once. I'll order the servants to make a formal apology for the serious mistake of mistaking your ladyship for a maid. Erica hurriedly waved her hands. No need. Please don't scold them too harshly. I arrived late and dressed like this. It's only natural they didn't recognize me. I also didn't correct them myself. Vincent bowed slightly. Thank you for your generosity. You truly have a kind heart. That was praise, wasn't it? The real Lady Erica would never have let a maid's mistake go so easily. But that doesn't mean I want to mistreat others. I'll live here in my own way. Erica nodded. All right, I'm counting on you from now on. Holding the basin, Vincent said, Then I'll go prepare breakfast and have it sent to your room. Night fell. In a brightly lit room, Sebastian let out a sigh. A proper night, guard asked in disbelief. Share bedroom? It's not as though you're truly going to spend your wedding night together. This is only a formality to prove the marriage has been officially concluded, and incidentally, it will let the servants learn the young madam's face. So what happened this morning, mistaking her for a maid, won't happen again. Sebastian looked incredulous. Erica was mistaken for a maid, and she wasn't angry. No, in fact, she even asked us not to scold the maids too harshly. I was surprised too, but we can't allow this sort of negligence again. Sebastian tapped the table lightly with his finger. All right, you may go. Yes, master. Sebastian fell into thought. Treated like a servant, yet she never lashed out. First sleepwalking, now this. Ever since the wedding, she has been full of surprises, enough to make one wonder if it's all deliberate. He lifted his head, his eyes falling on the empty room. Share a bedroom? Fine. It'll be a good chance to confirm whether she wandered around again last night. At the dining table, Vincent walked in. My lady, let me clear this away for you. Erica wiped her mouth with a napkin. Yes. Thank you. Erica added, if it's not too much trouble, please bring tomorrow's breakfast here as well. I can't eat in my room every time, though, and I need to pay my respects to the Grand Duke. She asked Vincent curiously, when do the Grand Duke and the young master usually dine together? Vincent answered, at present, both gentlemen are extremely busy with official matters, so they dine separately. I see. So busy they can't even share a meal. I need to find a chance to greet them. There was a knock at the door. Erica answered, Come in. The door opened, and Sebastian leaned inside. Excuse me. Erica rose in surprise. Young master. Sebastian walked into the room and said to the servants, That's all. You may leave us. Yes, sir. He turned to Erica. I've been busy. This is my first chance to come by. Do you like your room? Erica answered at once. Ah, yes, I like it very much. It's spacious and warm, and so beautiful. And the bed feels like sleeping on a cloud. Sebastian smiled faintly. Is that so? Then I'm relieved. After a pause, he said, but since it's so late, do you know why I'm here? Tonight, I plan to sleep here. Her cheeks flushed red, and her fingertips lightly touched her face. What did he just say? That night, Erica sat alone on the edge of the bed. I was taught that, after marriage, sharing a bed is only natural. But I didn't expect him to come so soon. No, maybe this is better. Now that it's just the two of us, I can finally say the words I've rehearsed over and over. I have to tell Sebastian. Determined, she suddenly stood up. Sebastian came over to her. Sorry to keep you waiting. Can we talk? Erica quickly nodded. Oh, of course. What did you want to say? I don't expect much from you. Erica froze. What do you mean by that? I want you to live quietly in the Grand Duchy of a cliff. It may sound cold, but I propose that we maintain a purely formal relationship, one limited to the marriage itself. After the wedding, I did become interested in Erica, even if that interest was nothing more than pity. But my position doesn't allow me to be swayed by emotion. Since Erica comes from the Blanche family, I can't let her get too close. I have to draw the line here. But that does not mean I will mistreat you. Erica lowered her eyes. I understand what you mean. She lifted her head, her gaze calm. All right, I will live quietly, just as you wish. But if you don't mind, there is something I would like to say as well. In a way, it aligns with what you just said. Sebastian gestured for her to continue. Go on. Erica placed a hand over her chest. No matter what happens, please protect me until I come of age. And the day before I become an adult, I will agree to divorce you. A flicker of surprise crossed Sebastian's eyes. Divorce? Was that the Marquis's idea? No, it was mine. Erica took a deep breath. He really is suspicious of me. I can't back down. This is my only chance. My father, the Marquis, always claims that everything he does is for my sake, but it's only to satisfy his own greed. He has never once asked what I truly want, including with this marriage. I'm still young and powerless now. But once I come of age, I will never let father control my life again. Erica clenched her fists. I don't want to be used by him anymore. And I don't want to be used by anyone else either. So please accept my proposal. Sebastian fell silent. So the rumors that the Marquis dotes on his beloved, delicate daughter aren't entirely true. He studied Erica. If I agree to your request, what do I get in return? Divorce alone is hardly a bargain. Erica met his gaze. I will give you control over the Blanche family's intelligence. Father will certainly ask me to gather information on the Acliff family, so I will send him false reports through my letters and help you obstruct the Marquis's plans. Sebastian touched his chin with his fingertips. Control over intelligence. Not a bad proposal. Erica's expression shifted. But I also have one condition. A condition? Yes. My father values the family's honor above all else. If he finds out I've done such a thing, even though I am his own daughter, he will punish me severely. Erica's hand tightened around her skirt. If I'm discovered, I may die. Yes, I may die, but it's not only me. There's someone else too. So please help me escape. Don't let father find out. As long as you keep your promise. Once I come of age, I'll disappear completely. Sebastian clenched his fist. After a moment of silence, very well. Erica held her breath. I take back what I said before about you living like the dead. Do as you please. Go wherever you want. The more openly you appear in public, the more believable the information sent to Marquis Blanche will be. He accepted my proposal. Light shimmered in Erica's eyes. I'll go out often then. Your Grace, she took his hand. All right, if that's all, it's late. Let's rest. A few days later, Erica stood by the window. Thank goodness. A huge weight has finally been lifted from my heart. After reaching an agreement with the young Duke, life in the Grand Ducal residence settled down. I've spoken with the young Duke several times and gotten to know most of the maids. But as for the Grand Duke himself, I still haven't met him. Erica walked through the empty corridor. I asked Joanna many times to arrange a meeting, but she refused every time. I heard he was supposed to dine with us today. There was a knock, and the door slowly opened. Joanna stood at the door. My lady, about your request to dine with His Grace the Grand Duke. The Grand Duke declined the invitation again. Joanna lowered her head apologetically. I'm very sorry. This time as well. Erica forced a smile. It's all right. Thank you for your trouble, Joanna. This makes the 7th time already. It's probably because I'm Blanche's daughter, but I don't want to give up just like that. Erica gripped the railing. Joanna, the maid turned back. Yes, my lady. Erica held out a letter. Could you deliver this to His Grace the Grand Duke? Joanna accepted the letter. Did you make this yourself? The envelope was carefully decorated with dried flowers and wax seals. Erica looked a little shy. It's nothing special. It's just a letter. Joanna gasped. Nothing special. It's beautiful. She carefully tucked the letter away. I will make sure it reaches His Grace the Grand Duke. Erica thanked her softly. Thank you, as always. Joanna turned and left. Erica stood alone in the room, waiting for an unknown answer. Alone by the window, Erica thought, I want to get along well with everyone in the Grand Ducal household. But after all, I'm still a member of the Blanche family. Erica looked out the window. The Blanche family crest surfaced in her mind. I can only take things slowly. I just hope the Grand Duke won't hate me. Suddenly, a sparrow landed on the curtain. Tilting its head, it looked at Erica, a tiny flower in its beak. Erica blinked in surprise. Are you trying to comfort me? The sparrow placed the flower in her hand and chirped softly. Erica smiled. Thank you. Two maids were chatting in the courtyard. Look over there. Erica turned around, sunlight falling over her. The maids stared in a daze. Animals really do seem to like her ladyship. Joanna nodded in agreement. They do. They're usually so shy. They rarely get this close to people. A squirrel perched on Erica's shoulder, and she blinked playfully. How strange. Even at the wedding, those war horses followed her so meekly. Sebastian stared from afar at those fierce beasts. To think they would act like that. He had once worried about her, but now it seemed she was adjusting just fine. What a strange girl. That night, in Sebastian's study, he leaned back in his chair, his thoughts in turmoil. Once Blanche learned the top-secret intelligence about the border, the first thing he did was force the imperial family to approve this marriage. I wanted to observe what exactly she was plotting. But who would have thought that young lady would propose such a bargain of her own accord? Timid and shy in front of the head maid, yet bold enough to ask the ducal house to help her escape the Marquis's control. She's impossible to predict. Still, there are suspicious points. Even before the anomaly at the border appeared, she was the first to sense that something was wrong. She only said the horses seemed uneasy, but when I pressed her, her answer was strange. I need more information about her before I can judge. There was a knock at the door. A report came from outside. Your Grace, the young Duke has arrived. Come. A man entered the study and bowed to Sebastian. I've come to report. He handed over a document. A message has come from Shadow. Sebastian accepted the document. Perfect timing. Is the investigation into that young lady complete? Sebastian's gaze sharpened. He opened the file. Then let's see what secrets our bride is hiding. Sebastian flipped through the report, the pages rustling beneath his fingers. Only this few pages. The subordinate lowered his head. Yes, since she was frail, she never left her family's territory from birth. She didn't even have a single friend. So apart from her family, she has no social connections at all. Sebastian scanned the text. So she used to change maids frequently, but after a few years ago, once a new one came, she never changed again. The subordinate added, the nanny, you mean? It said she relied heavily on her current nanny. Sebastian raised a question. Then why didn't that nanny come with her? The subordinate thought for a moment. Now that you mention it, that is strange. She's still young. It would have made more sense to send a nanny than a headmaid. His fingers tapped lightly on the table. A girl isolated because of illness, trapped in a closed environment. Her father did not send the nanny she trusted, but instead sent an unfamiliar headmaid. I can understand why she would want to leave that house, even if the price is divorce. At least her sincerity toward this marriage was real. The subordinate asked, should Shadow investigate the nanny more deeply? Sebastian ordered, yes, do that. The subordinate accepted the order. Yes, sir. Also, His Grace the Grand Duke has ordered an investigation into the young lady as well. Shall we report our findings to him too? A glint flashed in Sebastian's eyes. No, we'll keep them ourselves. The subordinate looked puzzled. Father as well? He kept saying he didn't even want to see Blanche's daughter. Why is he suddenly curious? Sebastian changed his mind. You may report to him, but tell Father. He smiled faintly, that I hope he'll meet her in person. The Grand Duke set down the documents in his hand. Steam rose from the teacup. Elsewhere, in the Grand Duke's study, a man was reporting. That's what Sebastian said. Yes, Your Grace. It seemed the young lady had made a stronger impression on Sebastian than he expected. The Grand Duke considered this. Very well. Tell him I understand. A letter lay quietly on the desk. Since I've received an invitation, I'll go and see for myself. Erica received the letter, and a delighted smile bloomed on her face. Really? Joanna smiled as she replied, "Yes. He said he is willing to see you. The Grand Duke must have liked your letter very much." Erica clasped her hands tightly and asked, nervous but excited, "What should I do? What do I need to prepare?" Joanna soothed her, "Don't be nervous, my lady. You'll do wonderfully." Erica's heart pounded. It won't be easy to leave a good impression on the Grand Duke. Who knows father's preferences best? Ah, Vincent. She saw the butler passing by and immediately called out to him. "Vincent." The butler turned. "Good morning, my lady." Erica hurried over. "Vincent, I want to ask you something." The butler inclined his head slightly. "Please do." Erica looked a little embarrassed. "The Grand Duke agreed to see me. What should I prepare?" The butler confirmed. "Prepare? Do you mean a gift for his grace?" Erica nodded. "Yes. Would flowers be all right? Is his grace allergic to pollen?" The butler answered calmly. "He neither particularly likes nor dislikes flowers." Then he paused. "But his grace the Grand Duke hates everyone from the Blanche family." Erica's face turned white. "What?" The butler continued. "So there is no need to prepare anything. He won't even spare a glance." Erica staggered back a step. The butler's words pierced her heart like ice. Could it be? She suddenly looked up. "Your Grace." A man stood there with a cane. He introduced himself. "That's right. I am Felix Cliff, Sebastian's father." Erica hurriedly lifted her skirt in greeting. Father-in-law. I am Erica Cliff. It is an honor to meet you." Grand Duke Felix remained expressionless. "Come with me." He turned and walked away, leaving only a cold back behind him. Erica stood frozen, at a loss. Felix led her to a tea room. The two sat facing each other. Silence spread through the air. Grand Duke Felix studied Erica. "She really doesn't resemble that viper, Jonathan Blanche. But appearances prove nothing." He broke the silence. "Aren't you curious why I refused to see you all this time?" Erica blinked. She quickly apologized. "I am sorry. If I had known you were unwell, I never would have asked to meet you." Felix waved a hand. "It's fine. My health is not public knowledge. Even your father, the Marquis, doesn't know." Erica was startled. Felix rolled up his sleeve. "Would you like to see it for yourself?" Erica covered her mouth in horror. His arm. Felix's voice was calm and cold. "You've heard about the barrier, haven't you? I was struck by the blood of a magical beast that emerged from it. That is the root of my illness. It is also the reason I was once at odds with your father." Felix continued. "This wound cannot be made public, and it cannot be cured. All I can do is inhale an anesthetic to lessen the pain." Erica suddenly understood. "I see. The barrier is a state secret, so that's why he kept refusing to meet me, to conceal his illness. But then why is he telling me now?" Felix stared at her. "Well then, my dear daughter-in-law, now it's your decision." Erica looked confused. "Decide what?" Felix's gaze sharpened. "Whether to tell your father, or keep this secret from me." A calculating glint flashed in his eyes. That cunning Blanche would never send his only daughter here without a reason. Erica's pupils contracted and her heart clenched. "That's not true." She covered her mouth tightly with both hands. "My mind's in chaos. What do I do? He suspects me." Erica trembled all over. "I have to tell him. I'm not like that. If I say nothing, he'll suspect me forever. I have to answer properly." But her throat felt completely blocked. Her body swayed. Felix shot to his feet. Erica, her vision went black, and she collapsed. Night fell. At the Blanche Marquis, there was a knock at the door. Jonathan was holding a wine glass. "Marquis." It was the butler. He said indifferently, "Come in." The butler entered the study. "A letter has arrived from the Cliff ducal house." Jonathan set down his glass. "From the ducal house?" A cold smile curled at his lips. "Has my dear daughter finally discovered something?" Jonathan opened the envelope. That's all." He gave a contemptuous snort. "A girl fainted. What's the big deal?" The letter read, "We apologize for troubling you again after the incident involving the headmaid. Erica appears to be anxious in an unfamiliar environment and has fainted. Please send someone she can rely on." Jonathan frowned. "Send someone over?" Then he sneered. So the girl does have some sense after all. Sounds like she's looking for her mother. If I send Julia to the ducal residence, she'll run away in no time. Besides, with Erica in her current state, I can't let her be separated from her nanny." The butler suggested, "My lord, we also need to fill the vacancy left by Lady Bupey. Why not send a new watcher to the ducal house?" Jonathan refused at once. No need for a watcher. That would only arouse unnecessary suspicion." After a moment's thought, he said, "Find another way to slip someone into the ducal house." Jonathan turned to the butler. "You go see Julia yourself. Tell her my daughter is ill and pry some information out of her." The butler bowed. "Yes, my lord, as you command." A dark trace flashed in Jonathan's eyes. As long as I send her something that belonged to her mother, that girl will know what to do. A few days later, hurried footsteps echoed in the corridor. Sebastian rushed up to Joanna, breathless. Has Erica woken up? Erica slowly opened her eyes on the bed. She saw Sebastian. Sebastian asked the doctor, "How is she?" The doctor answered, "Thank heavens, she's much more stable now. It seems she overexerted herself due to difficulty adjusting to the new environment. Her bronchial tubes have always been weak. She requires constant care." Sebastian frowned. "What? Then will she faint again?" The doctor nodded. "Yes, but considering the blessing she received, it is fortunate that she is this well." A voice came from the doorway. "Erica is awake." That voice. Erica turned toward it. It was the Grand Duke. Felix stood there, holding a bouquet. Sebastian demanded, "What did you say to Erica?" Felix replied lightly, "Nothing much. I only told her about my condition and asked her to decide whether to tell the Marquis." Sebastian glared at his father. Erica thought, "I have to clear up this misunderstanding. The Grand Duke still frightens me, but I don't want there to be any more misunderstandings between us." She took a deep breath. "I'm all right now." She looked at Felix. "As for my father, I will not report your illness to Marquis Blanche." Felix gave a small wave of his hand. "Then it's settled. Once you're feeling better, we'll speak again." Felix coughed lightly. Erica thought, anyone would find it hard to believe me. How can I win his trust? Felix spoke. "I tested you when we first met. For that, I owe you an apology." His cane tapped the floor. "At the very least, I won't treat you that way again." Erica was stunned. He apologized? I thought it was only natural for the Grand Duke to doubt me. Felix continued. "A message also came from Marquis Blanche saying you were unwell. Medicine and some of your personal belongings were sent from the Marquis." He took a small pouch from his coat. Erica asked in shock, "My personal belongings?" Felix placed the pouch in her hand. It was a heavy cloth bag. Felix said, "These were said to be yours, so I won't pry any further. I hope they bring you some comfort." He turned to leave. "I'll go now. Get some proper rest." Erica replied softly, "Yes, thank you." Strange. The Marquis would never send something out of mere concern. She untied the string on the pouch. The doctor and maid looked on in alarm. "My lady." Erica suddenly began to sob. Tears ran down her cheeks. She clutched the cloth pouch tightly. It was a ring, the ring Mother always wore. She must be suffering terribly right now. "Mother." A simple ring peeked out from the bag. One letter was engraved on it, and footsteps echoed through the empty corridor. Sebastian approached and looked at Erica. "Just as I thought." Erica swayed as she stood up. She was barefoot. Sebastian immediately stepped forward. "I don't know what's troubling you, but don't walk around without shoes. You'll get hurt." He crouched down and put her shoes on for her. Then he rose, his gaze falling to her clenched fist. "What are you holding on to even in your sleep?" He gently pried open Erica's fingers. "A ring. I've never seen this before. Was this sent by the Marquis this time?" He picked up the ring. It looked both plain and old, not the sort of thing that flashy man would ever own. Sebastian thought, she's clutching it tightly even in her sleep. It must matter to her deeply. He gently placed the ring back into Erica's hand. "Mother." She was calling for the Marchioness again, but this time she wasn't crying. Could this ring belong to the Marchioness too? Like a sleepwalker, Erica headed for the door. Sebastian thought, if I force her back into bed, I might wake her. No choice. I'll just watch over her until she falls asleep again. Erica stood alone in the moonlit courtyard. In a soft voice, she called, "Mother." Sebastian stared at the courtyard under the moon. My memories of my own mother stopped when I was 4. That longing faded long ago. Even for me, it's like that. So what must Erica, who lost her mother from birth, be feeling? Suddenly, his pupils shrank. Under the moonlight, birds and butterflies fluttered around Erica. A black cat rubbed against her feet. What is this? I knew animals were drawn to Erica, but I didn't expect it to this extent. He recalled the sight of Erica surrounded by little creatures. The more I learn, the stranger it gets. Whether or not she truly belongs to the Acliff family now, her current condition absolutely cannot be allowed to leak out. Sebastian looked at Erica's figure. Suddenly, he felt a faint disturbance, someone's presence. He whipped his head around, eyes sharp. This presence. A figure emerged from the shadows, carrying a lantern. It was the butler, Vincent. He asked respectfully, "Your Grace?" So late at night, Sebastian thought, judging from his expression, he hasn't noticed Erica's sleepwalking. He answered calmly, "I was only taking a short walk with her. There's no need to worry. You may go inside." Vincent bowed slightly. "Yes, I understand, Your Grace." Sebastian let out a breath of relief. Thank goodness it was Vincent. He's discreet. Even if he notices something, He won't speak carelessly. Still, there's servants moving about even this late. I'll have to be more careful from now on. He took Erica's hand. Come on. Erica. There was a knock at the door. Felix sat behind his desk. Is that Erica outside? Without even lifting his head, he said, come in. Erica peeked in from behind the door. Your Grace, I have something to say. After recovering, the first thing I did was come to visit the Grand Duke. Even though I promised not to share information with the Marquis's house anymore, the Grand Duke allowing me to speak again means he still doesn't fully trust me. Erica clenched both hands. I don't expect you to trust me immediately, but would you observe me a little longer? You still don't know what kind of person I am. After all, there are rumors that I'm the Marquis's beloved only daughter. It may even look like a disguise. Erica continued, but at least if you don't mind, I hope I can spend afternoon tea with you from now on. I want you to judge me after seeing me with your own eyes. Felix was silent for a moment. The teacup clinked softly. He set it down. I will make time for you. Once you're feeling better, go with Sebastian to see the Grand Duchy's lands. The scenery there is beautiful. Erica's eyes lit up. You really listened to me. She smiled brightly. Yes, thank you. A few days later, the carriage door opened. The Grand Ducal territory. Erica poked her head out. It was a bustling district. Grand Duke Felix was actually willing to let me come here. That's wonderful. Sebastian helped Erica down from the carriage. Erica, be careful. Once she steadied herself, she said, yes. Thank you, Your Grace. Joanna stepped forward. My lady, where would you like to go first? Erica thought for a moment. Could we go to a dress shop first? I didn't bring many clothes from the Marquis's house. Joanna brightened. Oh, since the season is changing, you should buy some lovely new dresses. I'll take you to the most famous shop. With your figure, my lady, everything will look beautiful on you. A clerk warmly greeted them. Welcome. This way, please. Erica came out of the fitting room, wearing a bright yellow dress. The skirt was light and flowing. She asked shyly, how is it? The clerk looked at her in admiration. My lady, it looks wonderful on you. There isn't a single thing that wouldn't suit you. Joanna clasped her hands to her cheeks, utterly enchanted. Sebastian, meanwhile, considered her thoughtfully. It's beautiful. Buy this one. Erica pointed to several more. And this one too. This is already the 5th outfit. Isn't that too many? Sebastian replied without hesitation, yes. Buy every dress she looked at. The clerk was overjoyed. Goodness, I'll wrap them at once, Your Grace. Erica looked at the mountain of shopping bags. Wait, are all of these really my clothes? Do noble ladies all live like this? Thank you. At the Marquis's house, I only had a few outfits for an entire season. It's really hard to get used to this. The shop bell chimed softly. Carrying armfuls of packages, Joanna asked, my lady, where shall we go next? Erica looked overwhelmed. There's a next stop too? We bought so much already. Joanna suggested, you must be hungry. Shall we have something to eat first? I heard a new dessert shop open nearby. Sebastian nodded in agreement. All right, rest at the dessert shop for a while. I'll be back soon. I need to stop somewhere. Erica watched him leave. All right, take care. She looked after his retreating back. He must be very busy, yet he still made time for me. I should thank him properly later. Joanna's voice came. My lady, let's go. Erica came back to herself. Yes, let's go. The ringing sound of a hammer striking iron echoed sharply. The blacksmith looked up. Your Grace? What brings you to the smithy? Do you need a new sword? Sebastian remained calm. No, I have a personal commission. He said, I want a necklace made. The blacksmith looked surprised. A necklace? Yes, Sebastian said. I've been keeping this ring, but it somehow doesn't feel right as it is. He continued, I want to thread it onto a necklace, so the chain should be as simple as possible. The blacksmith asked curiously, Your Grace, is it for you? Sebastian's gaze softened. No, it's a gift. He poured a bag of gold coins into the blacksmith's hand. As quickly as possible. Price is no object. The blacksmith accepted them solemnly. Understood. Leave it to me. Inside the dessert shop, Joanna urged, My lady, hurry and try this cake. Erica hesitated. Is it really that good? Joanna's face glowed with happiness. Yes, it melts in your mouth. This is the first time I've ever eaten something so delicious. Erica took a small bite of cake. Her eyes lit up. It's delicious. At the Marquis's house, I never ate cake. But here, I can freely enjoy something this delicious. The atmosphere here is so different from the Marquis's house too. The Grand Duke's territory is such a pleasant place to live. Joanna smiled. Right? You'll come to love it here very soon, my lady. Erica softly agreed. Yes, if one day I could live with Mother, just the two of us, I would want it to be like this. The streets were lively and peaceful. A warmth rose in Erica's heart. Suddenly, Erica stopped. There was a strange feeling coming from over there. Crows were startled into flight, flapping their wings as they flew into the distance. This felt just like the first time I sensed danger. Erica abruptly stood up. Joanna, what is on the other side of the village over there? Joanna looked puzzled. That's the northern forest. It used to be a hunting ground, but it's closed now. The northern forest. Erica's expression changed drastically. I have to see Sebastian at once. Joanna stared at her back in alarm. My lady, if this is only a warning sign of danger, then monsters could burst out of the forest and reach the village. I don't want to see anyone die again. Erica clenched her fists. Her eyes turned resolute. If I can stop it. Sebastian suddenly caught Erica. Erica, he shouted as he ran up to her. Where are you going? What happened? Without even turning back, Erica said, Your Grace, I feel like something bad is about to happen, just like when I sensed danger in the forest before. Behind the beast, a massive shadow loomed over a boy. Purple magic surged around his feet and bound him in place. Darkness swallowed his vision. Mother, father. The boy trembled all over, his chest stained with blood. In despair, he lowered his head. Someone, please save me. Erica's face grew grave. I have a very bad feeling, just like when the barrier appeared. Sebastian looked at her in confusion. What are you saying? Erica recalled the road to the forest. That same discomfort was flooding back. Something feels wrong. I need to confirm it immediately. Erica turned to Sebastian. If we don't go and check, someone in the estate may be hurt. Sebastian called after her. Erica. His expression was serious. If we go back to the estate first, it'll be too late. I'll go and take a look myself. He grabbed Erica's wrist. You go back to the estate first. Erica looked up in alarm. Your Grace, you're going alone? It's too dangerous. Sebastian's tone was firm. That's why your task is important, Erica. Once you return to the estate, tell Wilfred to come to the northern forest. Erica hesitated, but Sebastian turned back, a reassuring smile in his eyes. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll be fine. She looked at him. Your Grace. Joanna came running up, out of breath. My lady, young master, you're here. He urgently asked Joanna. Good. You came at the right time. Where is the nearest relay station? That night, Erica paced alone beneath the porch. Why isn't he back yet? Joanna draped a coat over her. Miss, you should go inside. It's still cold out here. You'll catch a chill. But Erica kept staring out the door. Joanna comforted her gently. I'm sure the young master will be fine. Then the front doors were suddenly thrown open. Erica whipped around in shock. It was the Duke. A man carried an injured person in on his back, with the Duke following behind. Erica rushed forward. Young master, you're back. Sebastian stepped forward quickly. It's so late. Were you awake this whole time? Are you hurt? Erica shook her head. I'm Fine. Don't worry. He turned to the butler, Vincent. This person is an important witness to the monster attack. Take him to the infirmary for treatment. The butler bowed. Yes, I understand. A witness? Who is that person? Erica looked at the Duke in confusion, her gaze falling on the injured boy. I found him in the northern forest. Just as you suspected, a barrier appeared there. By the time I arrived, it was already too late. Almost everyone had been attacked by monsters. His voice was heavy. All that was left on the ground was a pool of blood and a child's outstretched hand. A child, the Duke said in a low voice. That child is likely the only survivor. A chill ran through Erica. There were people living in the northern forest, but I heard that place had been sealed off. Sebastian explained, yes. It seems they were living there together with others. I'll find out what happened. He continued, what matters now is this. Once the child wakes up, I plan to report to my father with him. Sebastian looked at Erica. You should go inside and rest too. Erica answered softly, yes. Her hands clenched uneasily in front of her. On the bed, the boy twisted in pain. Sweat soaked his forehead as a nightmare overtook him. Garion, he suddenly opened his eyes. Run, Garion, run. The gaping jaws of a monster, those blood-red eyes, would not leave his mind. The boy jerked awake. Erica leaned over him, her voice full of apology. I am sorry. If only I'd asked the young master to confirm it sooner. She reached out and gently touched his forehead. Are you all right? The boy suddenly shrank back and let out a scream. He flailed in terror. Stay away from me. Erica caught his trembling hand and soothed him softly. Calm down. You're safe here. This is Duke Cliff's estate. The boy was still shaken. The Duke's estate. Then you are? Erica introduced herself. My name is Erica. I've been taking care of you until you woke up. Are you feeling any better? The boy looked at her. Why? Why am I at the Duke's estate? Erica explained. The young master found you unconscious in the northern forest. He said you were the only survivor. The boy bolted upright. The only survivor? Erica turned toward the door. Joanna, could you tell the young master our guest is awake? Joanna answered and left. Erica looked at the boy. He was about my age, yet he had gone through something so horrifying and lost his entire family. She gently stroked his hair. I can't do anything for him right now, but I truly hope he gets better. A short while later, Felix and Sebastian entered the room. Felix asked the child, "What is your name?" The boy lowered his head. "My name is Garian. Thank you for saving me." Felix continued, "Garian, I want to ask you some questions about what happened in the northern forest. Is that all right?" The boy gave a small nod. "Yes." Erica watched him. The child looked completely stiff. The grief hanging over him felt so heavy. She touched her own cheek. "If I look nervous too, I'll only feel more uneasy." "It's all right." The boy raised his head, and their eyes met. Felix's tone turned serious. "First, the northern forest is a restricted area. Why was your family living there?" Garian answered, "We were immigrants. We came to the Empire hoping to settle down. But because we weren't welcome and couldn't find work, we had no choice but to survive by hunting in the restricted zone." Sebastian nodded in understanding. "Last night, monsters appeared in the northern forest. Can you describe exactly what happened?" Garian shut his eyes as the memories flooded back. "A huge purple vortex suddenly appeared in front of our house. Monsters burst out and attacked us. My parents rushed forward to protect me, and then they were killed." Erica's heart tightened. We were all stunned by the sudden tragedy. But Garian's hands gripped the bed sheets tightly. He looked up, his eyes full of pain. Erica took Garian's hand. "If it's hard to talk about, you can take your time." Garian shook his head. "No, it's all right." The vortex disappeared quickly. He opened his palm. Resting, there was an amber-colored stone, where the vortex vanished. But this was all that was left. Felix and Sebastian exchanged a look. Sebastian's gaze sharpened. "This," he turned to Garian, "for the time being, you will stay at the ducal residence. Everything you just told us is top secret. You must not tell anyone." Sebastian turned to leave. "Erica, take him to a guest room." Garian asked in confusion. "Top secret?" Garian looked at Erica. Then, "Do you live here too?" Erica hesitated. Yes, Ido." But Garian's gaze deepened. In a low voice, he repeated her name. "Erica." Sebastian's face darkened instantly. He just called Erica by her name. He snapped at Garian. "Erica is my wife, the Duchess of a Cliff. Show some respect." Garian immediately let go, panic all over his face. "I am terribly sorry. I spoke disrespectfully to a noble lady." Erica hurriedly waved her hands. "No, it's all right. Don't worry about it too much." Felix turned to Garian, his tone gentler now. "I apologize for failing to understand the situation in my territory and leaving you without protection. From now on, I will take responsibility for your lodging." Felix continued. "If there's anything you need while you're here, tell me. I'll support you however I can." Garian replied quietly, "Thank you." He clenched the bedsheets. "Then, I have one request. I want to learn swordsmanship here." Felix's brow rose slightly. "Swordsmanship? Do you want to join the Cliff Knights?" Garian's eyes were resolute. "Yes. I never want to feel that helpless again, that feeling of being unable to protect anyone." That helplessness was branded into his heart. He continued, "I want to repay the Cliff family for saving my life." Erica looked at him. "Garian." Sebastian fell silent for a moment. "I understand your intentions, but if you want to learn swordsmanship from the knights, you must go through the proper procedures. The Cliff Knights are among the Empire's finest warriors. I cannot give you special treatment." Garian answered without hesitation. "That's all right. As long as I'm given the chance to take the selection test, I'll be grateful." Felix patted his shoulder. "We'll discuss that later. Right now, you need rest. If you remember anything else, report it to the butler." He nodded. "Yes, sir." Erica waved lightly. "I should go too. Get some proper rest." Garian responded softly, "Yes." He stared at Erica's retreating figure. "Lady Erica." That name whispered through his heart. The sun shone brightly, and the ring of swords echoed across the training grounds. The captain of the knights called out loudly, "Straighten your posture. Grip your sword tightly." Holding a parasol, Erica walked in and greeted him with a smile. "Hello, Commander. It's so hot today." The commander bowed respectfully. "Good afternoon, my lady." Erica smiled. "I had the kitchen prepare some chilled fruit juice. Please let everyone drink some and cool off." The knights burst into cheers. "Wow, really? Thank you so much, my lady." Erica's gaze swept across the training ground. "Where is he?" Ever since that day, Garian had trained day and night for the Knight Order's entrance exam. He eventually passed the test and was now training as a squire. Erica walked over to where he was practicing alone. "Garian, is training going well?" Garian turned around abruptly. "My lady." He looked a little awkward. "It's really hot today. How is life with the knights?" He took the handkerchief Erica offered him and wiped away his sweat. Everyone's been very kind to me. Erica looked at him. You look much healthier than when we first met. That's wonderful. She smiled with relief. Erica encouraged him. Keep working hard. I hope that one day I'll see you wearing an Cliff Knight's uniform. A faint blush rose to Garion's cheeks. My lady. Erica looked at him curiously. Yes. Garion tightened his grip on the handkerchief. When that day comes, when I finally put on a knight's uniform, if I offer you my sword, will you accept it? Erica froze. Garion, are you talking about a knight's oath? He answered firmly, yes. A knight's oath, the vow of loyalty a knight offers to their lord. A unique privilege given only once in a lifetime. Erica immediately shook her head. No, that won't do. Garion's eyes dimmed. You don't believe in me? My lady. Erica quickly explained, flustered. No, that's not what I meant. Since you'll become a knight of a cliff, you should swear your oath to the Duke or to Sebastian. Garion said quietly, I understand. Erica smiled, but I'm grateful for the thought. Well then, I should go. She turned away. Garion, keep up the good work with your training. Garion watched her back and responded softly, yes, my lady. Night fell. Erica returned to her room and touched her hair. It's grown longer. My white roots are showing again. Joanna, she seemed to have gone out early today. The residence was quiet. I can finish this quickly tonight. Erica opened a box. She poured hair dye into water, and red ripples spread across the surface. Erica lowered her hair into it. A stinging pain shot through her scalp. It hurts. The dye works well, but it still burns my skin. Maybe I'll get used to it with time. She picked up a mirror and looked at her newly dyed red hair, showing a faint, bitter smile. Then there came a knock at the door and a voice called from outside. Erica, are you in your room? Erica opened her eyes. It was the Duke. Oh no, the towel still has red dye on it. She hurried to her feet. Just a moment. The person outside did not wait. I'm coming in. The door opened. Sebastian stood in the doorway. Sorry for disturbing you so late. Were you about to sleep? Erica quickly shook her head. No, it's all right. I'm still awake. He startled me so badly, even my hair's a mess. She sat back down at the vanity. May I tidy my hair a little first? Of course. Take your time. I should at least look presentable. Even if I'm not dressed up, this is too embarrassing. Sebastian stepped forward. Give me the comb. I'll help you. Erica waved her hands in panic. No, there's no need. It's all right. But he persisted and held out his hand. Come here. Your hair is all tangled. Erica hesitated. His movements were so gentle. Is he used to doing this? Erica asked softly, What did you come for tonight? Sebastian replied, There are some things I wanted to ask you. Also, this is finished. He set a small box on the vanity. Erica looked at it in confusion. What is this? He opened the box. Inside was a necklace. I've seen you take out that ring often, so it must be important to you. I thought you might want to wear it around your neck. He threaded the ring onto the necklace and held it out to her. Would you like to try it on now? Wow, it's beautiful. I'll never take it off. Erica's eyes sparkled. She put on the necklace and lightly touched her chest. This is the first gift I've ever received that belongs only to me. She thanked him sincerely. Thank you very much, Duke Sebastian. Sebastian gave a slight nod. He looked at her in mild surprise. That's the first time you've called me by my name. Erica's cheeks instantly turned bright red. I'm sorry. She hurriedly explained. I was just so happy that I slipped. Sebastian said gently, It's all right. Call me that from now on. I don't mind. Erica replied quietly, Yes. All right. His smile faded as he returned to the matter at hand. I came to ask you something. You can sense when barriers are about to appear ahead of time, can't you? Erica's body stiffened. He pressed on. Does her father know about your ability? Erica's head jerked up, her pupils shrinking. How does he know? She pressed a hand to her chest. Her heart pounded wildly as an ominous feeling came over her. She swallowed hard. No, he doesn't know. My father knows nothing about it. To be precise, the first time I felt it was on the day Lady Benpiu died. And when I lived in the capital, I never felt anything like that. Not while traveling either. So the first time, I sensed it was on the way back after the wedding. That timing can't be a coincidence. Sebastian looked thoughtful. Could it be the effect of the blessing from then? In any case, it's an ability I urgently need right now. His tone became serious. Erica, you know barriers always appear without warning. He placed a hand lightly on her shoulder. At the moment, they've only appeared in the forests near the territory. But one day, they may appear in the capital or in the center of any densely populated city. When that happens, your ability to sense them could help us prepare in advance. Erica looked up, determination flashing in her eyes. Sebastian's gaze was full of expectation. It could even save many lives. So, will you help me? I want us to investigate the areas where barriers may appear, and if you sense any sign at all, tell me immediately. Erica lowered her eyes. I'm grateful for your trust, but if I go near those barrier zones again, I'll have to relive battle and death over and over. I don't know if I can bear it. Her hands clenched tightly, and her body trembled faintly with fear. Sebastian's voice softened. Erica, I know you're afraid. He dropped to one knee and took her hand. But I promise I will never let you fall into serious danger. I'll protect you with my life. He was so sincere. That meant he truly needed my help. My intuition may be insignificant, but just as Mother once protected me, I want to protect others too. Erica lifted her head, her gaze firm. All right, I understand. I'll find my courage. A warm smile bloomed on her face. If I can help, I'll do everything I can. More importantly, I don't want to betray the trust you've placed in me. Sebastian stared at her, so she can smile like this too. He spoke softly. Thank you for making this decision. Sebastian stood. Then, before we begin, may I ask you one thing? Erica nodded readily. Of course, as long as it's something I can do. What is it? He asked calmly. I think you need to study a little. Erica blinked. Study. A bolt of shock exploded in her mind. I'm such an idiot. A future duchess should obviously know household management. How could I forget something so important? A knock sounded at the door. Erica came back to herself. Come in. The door slowly opened. Felix stepped aside and introduced her. Erica, let me introduce you. A woman in a dark green dress entered. This will be your tutor, Loren. She'll be responsible for all your lessons from now on. So this is my governess. She looks somewhat similar to Sebastian. Felix cleared his throat. Perhaps Sebastian already mentioned it, but Loren is my younger sister. Erica's heart gave a start. So she really is Sebastian's aunt. Lauren's eyes were appraising. So you're the daughter of Marquis Blanche. It looks like there's quite a lot for you to learn. She opened her fan, covering half her face, and spoke sharply. Staring so directly at someone's face is quite rude. Erica snapped back to herself and apologized quickly. I'm sorry. She explained in a hurry. It's just that you look so much like Lord Sebastian, and you're so beautiful. I couldn't help it. A faint cold smile tugged at Lauren's lips. As you can see, I'm very strict. Lauren's voice was cool and merciless. I'm very much like my brother, so I don't have the best temper. That means your age won't earn you any leniency. Erica answered quietly. Yes. Yes, my lady. I'm done for. I made a fool of myself the first time we met. What if she refuses to teach me? Then Lauren's tone shifted. However, she closed her fan. We haven't officially begun lessons yet, so I'll let it go this time. Her gaze was sharp as a blade. Yes, the lessons will be harsh, so you'd better do everything you can to keep up. A glimmer of hope lit Erica's eyes. Really? Erica bowed deeply. Thank you, Lady Loren. I'll do my very best. Felix turned to Loren. Then let's go to the study. We have much to discuss. Loren nodded. Very well, brother. She turned to leave, her footsteps crisp. Classes will begin next weekend. Erica clenched her fists. Yes, I won't disappoint you. Loren glanced at her. I look forward to seeing that. She left side by side with Felix. A brown-haired woman passed by nearby, a trace of displeasure in her eyes. Erica watched them go. Who was that person? Joanna came running over. Miss, how did it go? Erica let out a breath. She was much kinder than I expected. That's wonderful. Then Erica remembered something. Joanna, who was the person beside Lady Loren? Joanna thought for a moment. The one with her? Probably her attendant. Lady Loren has been frail since childhood. Erica looked thoughtful. She kept staring at me. I thought maybe we knew each other. Looks like I was overthinking it. Joanna approached with a tray. Miss, look, this is a letter from Marquis Blanche. Resting quietly on the tray was a letter sealed in bright red wax. Would you like to read it now? Erica looked at the letter. Her eyes shifted away. I'll read it later. Joanna, please put it in my room for now. Joanna bowed slightly. Yes, miss. A knock sounded at the door. Sebastian was adjusting his cuff. Come in. Erica entered holding the letter. Lord Sebastian, do you have a moment? Sebastian turned to look at her. What is it? Erica held out the letter in her hand. It's a letter from Marquis. Sebastian's eyes froze instantly, his pupils contracting in shock. Erica, have you been well lately? I heard you were ill, and I've been very worried. Be sure to write back and tell your father how you are. Jonathan Blanche. Sebastian took the letter. Looks like he wants to use you as a spy now. Erica looked up at him. How should we reply? Sebastian laid a hand over hers, his gaze steady. Start by writing that you've begun studying to become the lady of the household. That way the Marquis won't grow suspicious. Can we really tell him that? Sebastian countered, why not? Erica hesitated. It's because my mother, more precious to me than life itself, is still in the Marquis's hands. But I don't do anything that would harm Lord Sebastian, who has always trusted me. He really is a good man. It's just, if father hears this and believes I've truly become the mistress of the ducal household, he may make even more outrageous demands. Sebastian looked at her. There you go again, acting like you're carrying the whole world on your shoulders alone. If something like that really happens, come to me. Things will work out somehow. No matter what, I'll protect you. So don't worry too much. Erica's heart jolted. She clutched at the fabric over her chest. Thank you, Lord Sebastian. She showed him a relieved smile, though her fists quietly tightened at her sides. If only I weren't a fake. As time passed, and the day lessons would begin drew near, Lady Lorraine moved into the ducal residence. She instructed the servant beside her, put that in the study. Felix and Erica were having tea in the garden. He lifted his teacup. How interesting. Just adding one more person has made the residence much livelier. Erica smiled softly. Father, honestly, you were the one who personally invited Lady Lorraine here. Felix coughed lightly, hiding his embarrassment. It's always good to have a teacher nearby, isn't it? His words are blunt, but I know he's a good person. No matter how busy he is, he always makes time to have tea with me. Erica tapped her fingers lightly against her teacup. She looked up suddenly. Yes, I can tell that he sets aside this time on purpose. I wish I could do something for him. You must be tired lately. I heard you've been very busy. Would you like me to massage your shoulders? Felix turned his head. A massage. Erica's voice was gentle. I just want to help relieve your fatigue. He gave a quiet laugh. Very well. Go ahead. Erica's eyes lit up. All right, I'll do my best. She pressed her hands down firmly. How does it feel? Do you feel better? Felix closed his eyes. Thank you. It feels like all my fatigue has melted away. A flash of golden light passed. His body stiffened. I'd like to continue, but your lesson with Lady Lorraine is about to begin. It's your first class. I'm sure you have a lot to prepare. Erica placed a hand on her chest. Is it that time already? Erica turned to leave. Thank you for reminding me, Father. I'll excuse myself now. Felix remained there alone. He lifted his arm. Strange. Not only my shoulders, that even the pain in the arm that was wounded by a monster is fading. He looked at the scar growing faint on his arm. Could this be the blessing Erica spoke of? He stared after Erica as she walked away, golden light glimmering in her hair. A miracle too obvious to ignore. In the spacious bedroom, sunlight spilled across the floor through the window. Erica hugged her books to her chest. This is my first lesson. I'm so nervous. I have to do well. She walked toward the door where a maid was standing. Hello, I am Charlotte Tude, Lady Lauren's attendant. I'm here to escort you to your first lesson. So she's Lady Lauren's caregiver. Erica smiled in reply. It's nice to meet you. I don't think we've spoken before. I am Erica Acliffe. Charlotte curtsied. It's an honor to finally meet you in person. Smiling, Charlotte said, before coming to the estate, I'd already heard a great deal about you. Erica was a little surprised. About me? Does she really know the real Erica? I've never heard about any of this. The two of them walked side by side down the corridor as Charlotte explained. My father once owed the Blanche family a debt. When Baron Tude's trading company fell on hard times, the Marquis introduced us to new business partners, and we were able to avoid bankruptcy. He's truly the benefactor of our entire family. I see. She seems kind, but even if her family is grateful to mine, I shouldn't react too quickly. I'm glad to meet someone connected to one of Father's good deeds. Erica smiled, a little embarrassed. If I'd known sooner, I would have greeted you first. Charlotte stopped walking. So, Miss Erica really didn't know about our family, even though you're the sole heir? Erica's expression shifted. I was sickly as a child, so Father rarely told me important things. Is she testing me? Charlotte immediately clasped her hands together. Oh dear, I shouldn't have said that. Seeing you so healthy now. I completely forgot. Even if I collapse here, I can't act spoiled. I represent the Blanche family's dignity. I can't cause trouble. Charlotte smiled approvingly. You're so composed for someone your age. It's admirable. She stopped in front of a door. We've arrived while talking. Thank you, Di. Charlotte suddenly caught Erica's hand. Miss Erica, after speaking with you today, I want to become closer to you. If you ever need anything at all, please tell me. Even something small. Erica was a little at a loss. Thank you for your kindness. The enthusiasm in her eyes makes me a little uneasy. She's not a bad person, but it's a bit excessive. A cold voice interrupted them. How long do you intend to chat out there? Lady Loren stood in the doorway, clearly displeased. Charlotte apologized at once. Lady Loren, I'm sorry, but really, I had at least greet the young lady. I can't spend all my time speaking only with you, especially since all you ever talk about is boring studying. Lady Loren's eyes narrowed. Charlotte, do you realize how rude you're being to me? Charlotte smiled as she defended herself. But you said yourself that it gets boring sometimes. Honestly, who can control you? Their relationship doesn't seem very good. How did she end up becoming Lady Loren's attendant? Well, maybe I'm overthinking it. Lady Loren turned to Charlotte. You may go. Erica's lesson is about to begin. Charlotte responded cheerfully, yes, and turned to leave. Lady Loren walked toward the bookshelf. I'm going to get the study materials. Wait here. Erica answered respectfully, yes, Lady Loren. Where are you going to study first? Since these are lessons for the lady of the house, will it be budgeting or hosting banquets? Lady Loren spread out a huge sheet of parchment across the table. Erica stared at the map before her. This is, Lady Loren pointed at it, a map of the Grand Duchy of a cliff. Then she announced, we'll begin by studying the geography of this land. Erica looked utterly confused. What? Geography? Lady Loren tapped the map lightly with her pointer. Look here, there is a waterway in the northwest. Water is the lifeblood of the territory's people. You do well to remember that. Lady Loren lowered her pointer. That's enough for today. Before next class, you must learn the terrain and waterways of the Northwest. Erica answered with a smile, yes, Lady Loren. It had already been 2 weeks since the lessons began, yet I still hadn't even learned the basics of the duchy's geography. Erica looked out the window. At first, I was surprised when she said she would teach me topography. But Lady Loren's words dispelled my doubts. Budgeting can wait until you're older. It would take no more than 3 months to learn. But a duchess must not only manage the inside of the ducal house, she must also understand what happens beyond its walls. Erica suddenly understood. I see. If I learn the duchy's geography ahead of time, then when a rift appears, I'll be able to identify its location faster and reduce the damage. Erica clenched her fists. I have to work hard, so I can be of help to Sebastian. She returned to her room. I should review what I learned today. An envelope lay quietly on the tray. It's a letter. Erica's pupils contracted. Marquis Blanche has written back. At the same time, in another room, documents were piled as high as mountains. An adjutant looked at Sebastian with concern. Sir, if you keep going like this, you'll collapse. Have you slept at all? Sebastian didn't even lift his head. The tip of his pen scratched across the parchment. It's not that bad yet. Don't worry. He set down his pen. More importantly, what is it? The adjutant handed him a letter. A message came from Shadow. I've brought it to you. Sebastian rubbed his brow. He waved a hand. Leave it and go. The adjutant bowed. Yes, then I'll take my leave. Sebastian opened the envelope. It was an urgent report regarding Marquis Blanche. The Marquis is gathering classified information about rifts and magic stones. The source of the information is suspected to be either the temple or the royal family. He recently purchased land near the temple and formed an underground market there. Illegal trade in monsters may be taking place there. The letter turned to ash in the flames. Sebastian tossed the burned remains into the fireplace. An underground market. His eyes turned cold. I still can't grasp why the Marquis is probing into rift information. Should I throw out some bait and test him first? Have Erica send him another letter. Lately, we've both been so busy we haven't been able to meet. He stood up. No, I should go see her in person. At dusk, the door creaked open. Erica jumped in surprise. Sebastian stood in the doorway. Erica, he looked slightly puzzled. Why are you standing outside instead of coming in? Erica en soir de quardi. I wanted to talk to you, but you looked very busy. Sebastian gently drew her inside. No matter how busy I am, I always have time to talk to you. Combien? Erica replied quietly. Then excuse me. Sebastian sat back down at the desk. So, what did you come to see me about? Erica offered him the letter with both hands. I received a reply from father. Sebastian took it. That quickly? What did he say this time? Erica summarized the contents. He said he's glad I'm properly attending my Duchess lessons. He also said we should correspond more often. Sebastian gave a faint laugh. Just as I expected. His eyes sharpened. Still, the more I think about it, the stranger it seems. He surely heard that Lady Benpiu died months ago. Yet since then, he hasn't sent anyone to spy on you. Is he really planning to keep this up with letters alone? If they discover I'm a fake, even the Marquis could be in danger. I'm so worried. Erica looked troubled. What if he's already bribed someone inside the ducal estate? Sebastian reassured her. The old staff of this estate are trustworthy. Don't worry too much. Then he continued his reasoning. If he sends someone now, we'd be able to monitor them from the side. So he's probably waiting until your position in the ducal household becomes more secure. Erica looked thoughtful. Sebastian's gaze shifted to the fireplace, but I'm still curious about his intentions. So this time, your reply needs to make him believe you occupy an important position. Erica looked confused. But how? Sebastian held out something wrapped in a handkerchief. Send this along with your reply. Erica took it. It looks a lot like the gem Garian showed me before. Sebastian picked up a golden crystal. Yes, but this is more than just a gemstone. It's a magic stone found after a rift closed. Right now, this is exactly what Marquis Blanche wants most. Sebastian had said before that the Marquis was gathering information about rifts and had bought land near where they appeared, where an underground market had formed. Perhaps things from the rifts were being traded there. What on earth is Father trying to do? Sebastian's voice drew her back to reality. We still don't know what the Marquis is plotting, but rather than let someone else get ahead of us, we should strike first. Erica looked at the magic stone. But this is a magic stone. What if it's dangerous? Shouldn't we tell the Duke first? Sebastian answered calmly. It's fine. Father would think the same. He set the magic stone on the desk. That stone isn't dangerous. I don't know what the Marquis is planning, but I trust Lord Sebastian's judgment. I'll do as he says. Erica made up her mind. I understand, Lord Sebastian. Then I'll send the magic stone back with the letter, as you suggested. But Sebastian stopped her. Right here. He handed her paper and pen. Erica looked surprised. But we haven't seen each other in so long. Once we finish discussing business, are you just going to leave? Erica's cheeks reddened slightly. I just thought, Lord Sebastian, you're very busy. I didn't want to trouble you. Sebastian gently took her hand. In that case, don't you still have tea with Father, who's even busier than I am? Erica hurriedly waved her hands. What? No. Of course I'd be happy to have tea with you. Why can't I speak properly today? I sound like an idiot. Sebastian suggested mildly. Then how about a cup of tea right now? Erica froze. Tea was poured into the cups, and the fragrance spread through the room. Sebastian lifted his cup. It's nice to have tea in the office once in a while. Erica took a small sip. Somehow, it feels like Lord Sebastian tricked me into this. Sebastian set down his teacup. Come to think of it, your birthday is coming up soon. Is there anything you'd like as a gift? Erica quickly shook her head. No need. I've already received so many things. Is my birthday really that soon? I completely forgot. After all, it isn't my real birthday. Sebastian looked thoughtful. Is that so? A smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Erica felt faintly puzzled. A few days later, on Erica's birthday, the courtyard buzzed with voices. The butler approached a maid. Joanna, on such a happy day. Why do you look so gloomy? She lowered her eyes. This is the young lady's first birthday since coming to the ducal estate, and only we ourselves are celebrating it. It feels a little lonely. The butler explained, it can't be helped. The Grand Duke's family does not entertain outsiders. That is the Grand Duke's direct order. The butler imagined Erica quietly drinking tea alone. But on a day like this, she must miss the Blanche family very much. Joanna agreed. Yes, even if she smiles, she must feel lonely inside. The butler and Joanna looked at Erica. She's still so young. It's heartbreaking. Yet Erica's thoughts were entirely different. A birthday party. This is amazing. My birthdays used to be nothing more than sharing a piece of bread with Mother. But today, even though it isn't my real birthday, so many people are celebrating me. And there's so many flowers and sweets I love. I'm so happy. Father, thank you for this beautiful surprise. Felix smiled faintly. I'm glad you like it. Loren asked Erica, what does the tea taste? Erica lifted her cup. I've never smelled an aroma like this before, but it's so pleasant. Thank you for your gift, Lady Loren. Lady Loren smiled in response. I'm glad you like it. Charlotte recommended it. She said it was a tea young ladies enjoy. Erica looked surprised. Really? Thank you, Miss Charlotte. You have wonderful taste. Charlotte replied modestly, I'm just glad you like it, my lady. I was so wary of Miss Charlotte before. How foolish of me. She may be much kinder than I imagined. Erica smiled. Next time, I'll brew you a fine cup of tea myself. Lady Loren looked around. Speaking of which, where is Sebastian? It's his wife's birthday. Felix explained. Ah, he said he had urgent business to take care of. Erica looked a little disappointed. I see. Then she spotted a familiar figure. Garion. Erica waved to him. What are you doing over there? Come here. Garion hurried over. My lady, happy birthday. He held out a small gift. I carve a wooden doll of you. Erica took the little carving in both hands. Oh, Garion, did you make this yourself? It's so cute. Garion's cheeks reddened. I'll practice harder. Next time, I'll definitely carve one that looks exactly like you, my lady. Erica smiled in reply. All right, I'll look forward to it. She held the carving tightly. I'm really so happy. Today is such a precious day. Lady Loren's voice came from the side. There are no lessons today. You may relax properly. Erica answered in delight. Wow, really? If only Lord Sebastian were here too, it would be perfect. He said he had something to do. I wonder if he'll make it back today. Footsteps sounded. Erica turned toward them, and her eyes lit up. Sebastian. That familiar figure walked toward her against the light. Sebastian was leading a snow-white pony. Happy birthday, Erica. I'm late. I had to bring this little one here. Luckily, I made it before your birthday was over. Lady Loren looked at the horse in surprise. Goodness, isn't that a breed only found in the Western Barony? Erica stroked the pony's mane. Wow, he's beautiful. What's his name? Sebastian smiled. Erica, you should name him. Erica looked confused. Me? Sebastian's gaze was gentle. I heard from Aunt. You said you wanted to explore the Cliff territory yourself someday, didn't you? This is the birthday gift I prepared for you. Erica covered her mouth with both hands. Such a beautiful horse. Is he really for me? Tears welled in her eyes. Thank you so much, Sebastian. Sebastian encouraged her. Go on. He's very gentle. The two of you will get along well. Erica took the reins. Hello, I'm Erica. What kind of name would you like? Your white coat is just like snow. How about snow? Maybe because everyone's blessings were so sincere. Even though this was a fake birthday for a fake bride, I was truly happy. A radiant smile bloomed across Erica's face. From today on, your name is Snow. A few days later, the sound of hoofbeats echoed through the forest. Erica immediately responded, Ah, yes. Lady Loren's voice came from behind her. Today, we're going to the place we studied in our last lesson. Sit up a little straighter, Erica. After the birthday party, horseback riding was added to Erica's Duchess lessons. Lady Loren had suggested, now that you have a horse, next time you'll be able to do as you wished and personally inspect the Grand Duke's territory. Erica looked puzzled. The Grand Duke's territory? Lady Loren took a sip of tea. Why? Then someone will need to teach you how to ride. Garion immediately stepped forward. That is, may I help with that? I can ride. Sebastian cut in coldly. No, you're not even a formal knight. I'll do it. Sparks seemed to fly between the two men. Erica sensed the tension. I knew it. For some reason, those two really don't get along. Lady Loren set down her teacup. Enough. I don't know what you're arguing about, but as her tutor, I will personally teach her to ride. She swept her gaze over the others. Everyone else, attend to your own duties. Garion and Sebastian both looked dejected. At first, I was terribly nervous during riding lessons, but now I feel like I'm gradually getting used to it. From behind her, Lady Loren reminded her, Careful, dear. Lady Loren suddenly shouted, There's a branch ahead. Watch out. Erica instinctively raised her hand to shield herself. Charlotte rode up at once. No need to thank me. Erica watched her deft movements. Sister Charlotte, you seem very skilled at riding. How did you learn? Charlotte explained. In the Candell family, everyone has to learn. Our family runs a merchant guild, so we often have to travel. Though in the end, I became Lady Loren's caretaker. Charlotte's eyes shone. I was captivated by Milady's elegance, so I became her secretary. Erica nodded thoughtfully. I see. You must have had a hard time choosing a different path against your family's wishes. Miss Charlotte, you're amazing. Charlotte rode ahead. We're here. Erica, this is the place. Before them stood a magnificent estate, the very place they had studied in class before. Erica asked, This is where the rice originates, right? Charlotte nodded. That's right, and it's very close to the Grand Duke's manor. From here, rice spreads throughout the entire territory. Erica tightened her grip on the reins. It's incredible. I want to learn to ride as soon as possible. Determination lit up her eyes. That way, when I leave the Grand Duke's residence someday, I'll be able to find a place to live with Mother. Someday, when I run away, Erica gently stroked Snow's mane. Until then, I'm counting on you, Snow. And so, little by little, I explored the Grand Duke's lands myself, learning the terrain and how the household was run. Time passed. The seasons changed. A carrier pigeon flew over the estate. 3 years later, an attendant reported to Sebastian, Marquis Blanche visited the Filla's territory again today. He's been doing this for the past 3 years. Sebastian took the letter. At the same time, the black market seems to have grown larger as well. After giving the magic stone crystal to Marquis Blanche, demand for amber-colored gemstones on the black market surged. The Marquis became convinced that crystal brick was a magic stone and began frantically collecting every similar gem he could find. Afterward, we released a large number of fake gems into the black market, creating confusion and gaining some control over the distribution network. Fortunately, there have been no major magic stone incidents over the past 3 years. But why the Marquis is still searching remains unclear. Sebastian watched the pigeon flying past the window. He let out a soft sigh. Those things beyond the border are such a nuisance. Still, the Grand Duke's territory has remained peaceful until now. That must be thanks to Erica. Erica Acliff. It had been 3 years since the political marriage between House Acliff and Marquis Blanche's house. During that time, Erica had completely become part of the Acliff family. Her smile was radiant, her waving hand like the warmth of spring sunlight. By now, no one could imagine the Grand Duke's household without Erica. My third autumn at the Acliff Grand Ducal residence. Erica rode alone through the forest. By now, I'm used to riding by myself, so I can even join monster subjugation expeditions. Sebastian suddenly shouted, "Erica, watch out!" He reached out, trying to grab her reins. The Grand Duke had once opposed my joining, saying hunting monsters was too dangerous. Sebastian rode closer. "We don't know when a monster may appear, so don't stray too far from me." "Yes, Lord Sebastian." But as the rifts began appearing more and more often, they had no choice but to agree. As time passed, my ability also evolved. I could no longer merely detect rifts. I could sense them even before they fully formed. The deer in the forest suddenly grew restless. Erica noticed the change. The animals are agitated. It seems a rift is about to open. This one may be enormous. Erica yanked on the reins, her pupils shrinking. She pointed toward the dense forest on the right. "Over there." Sebastian immediately ordered everyone into the forest on the right. A sharp screech rang out from the woods as a huge pterosaur-like monster burst into the sky. Sebastian shouted, "Everyone draw your bows." It's a flying-type monster. Sebastian drew his bow to its fullest, arrow poised to fire. He turned to Erica. "Where exactly is the rift?" Erica pointed ahead. "Right behind those trees. We have to close it before more monsters come out." A knight offered up holy water at once. "My lord, please use this to close the rift." "Understood." Sebastian took the holy water and then looked at Erica. "Go to the rear. Make sure you stay safe." Erica watched the arrows fly into the sky, a chill running down her spine. It's a good thing we found it early. A moment later, and the damage would have been unimaginable. The rifts are getting larger and appearing more often, if they begin appearing at the same time. Sebastian knocked another arrow, his gaze sharp as a blade. "Everyone, aim for the monster's wings. Rear guard, be ready to behead them when they fall." The knights answered in unison, "Yes, sir." Sebastian gave the order again. "Take aim, then fire." A rain of arrows came whistling down, and the monster shrieked as it plummeted. Blood sprayed through the air. Sebastian turned to Erica. "Go back first. I'll report to father and then come." "Yes, Lord Sebastian." Erica rode back to the residence. An attendant hurried over. "My lady, you've returned." Erica turned at the voice. Garion held out his hand. "You're back later than usual." "I was worried." Erica took his hand and nodded lightly. "Thank you." Garion's gaze rested on her. "You've been going out often lately. May I ask where you've been?" Erica stiffened slightly, then forced a smile. "Oh, just wandering around nearby. The Grand Ducal estate is so large, you know. Garion knows about the rifts, but he lost his whole family because of them. I can't bear to tell him that I've been searching for them on purpose." A trace of worry appeared in Garion's eyes. "I understand. I just hope it's nothing dangerous. I'll take Snow to the stables, so please get some rest." Erica handed him the reins. "I'm counting on you." "Of course. Leave it to me." Erica turned and left. Garion silently watched her back, surrounded by elite knights, as if she were going off to do something important. Garion's gaze darkened. He tightened his grip on the reins in his hand. An indescribable feeling grew inside him. Leading the horse toward the stables, he made up his mind. "I have to work harder. I have to become a knight capable of protecting Lady Erica." Erica went up the stairs. Every time I see Garion, he seems to be growing at an incredible speed. Joanna once said he's the most popular among the maids. Now I think I understand why. Erica smiled to herself. Garion seems to be adapting well. He'll probably be promoted to a formal knight soon. For some reason, that makes me feel proud. A voice interrupted her thoughts. Lady Erica. Erica turned around, and a familiar figure came into view. Charlotte. Charlotte approached with a smile. Long time no see. I heard you went on holiday. When did you get back? Erica replied, Miss Charlotte, I only returned this afternoon, a little earlier than planned. Charlotte explained, it's been a while, so I wanted to visit my father, but unfortunately, he was away on business with the Merchant Guild. What bad timing. Yes, though I heard the place he went is near a cliff territory. Charlotte sounded a little hopeful. If the timing works out, maybe I'll get to see him. He also said he happened to be with Marquis Blanche. Erica's fingers trembled sharply. She asked in disbelief, W.A.T. My father? What business does father have near cliff territory? He hasn't gotten involved in anything related to monsters, has he? Charlotte said regretfully, I was hoping to see him too. I even made a special trip to visit Blanche Manor, but I missed him. Erica's eyes widened in shock. You went to my home? Charlotte continued, yes, though I didn't get to see the Marquis. But guess who I did meet? Erica shook her head blankly. I don't know. Charlotte smiled slyly. Don't be too surprised. I met your childhood nanny. Lady Erica? Erica's whole body stiffened. That so-called nanny. Mother? She forced herself to stay calm and asked, my nanny? Oh, was she well? Charlotte took Erica's hand. I don't know what she used to be like, but has she always been that thin? Erica lowered her eyes. She's always been thin. Charlotte sighed. But she must love you dearly, Lady Erica. The moment I mentioned you, her eyes filled with tears. Erica's heart clenched. Mother, how badly I want to ask about her right now. But for a noble lady to miss her nanny this desperately would be far too strange. Charlotte suddenly changed the subject. Still, it is rather odd. Lady Erica, since you no longer live at Blanche Manor, why is your nanny still there? Erica fought to hide her panic. She took care of me from childhood. Father probably arranged another position for her so she could remain there. What do? I can barely keep the expression off my face. Erica hurriedly turned away. I'm a little tired, so I'll return to my room first. Miss Charlotte, you must be weary from your travels too. Please get some rest. Charlotte gave a small bow. Of course. Lady Erica. Erica walked away quickly, panic written all over her retreating back. Leaning against the wall, she pressed both hands tightly to her chest, her heart pounding against her ribs. Erica rushed into her room. She locked the door behind her. Miss Charlotte saw Mother. Mother, you're still alive. Any letters I send to Father have to pass through Lord Sebastian first. I can't mention Mother at all. For 3 whole years, I've heard nothing, and I've been worried sick. But you've been safe all this time. Thank goodness. Erica collapsed to the floor. Tears spilled from her eyes. I want to see Mother. Couldn't I at least look at her from afar? She hugged herself tightly. No, if I suddenly disappear, the Marquis's house will definitely send people to search for me. If word reaches Father, he'll hide Mother away, and the rifts keep increasing. I can't leave the Grand Duke's territory. Erica curled up by the door. There are too many reasons keeping me from moving an inch. She wiped away her tears. Don't cry. Right now, there's nothing I can do. Only 3 years have passed. There are still 6 years until my coming-of-age ceremony. I have to endure it. Night deepened. The bedding on the bed suddenly rose, and a figure quietly slipped out. Footsteps sounded outside the door. A man in a cloak entered the room. Miss, I'm here to collect the regular report. Charlotte hurriedly got up. Why you came early? I just used up everything I had on hand and was just worrying about it. The cloaked man lowered his voice. Did you mention that woman to the Grand Duchess? Charlotte clutched the blanket over her head, trembling slightly. Why you mean the nanny at the Marquis's estate? That's right. Charlotte, daughter of Baron Calder, the spy planted in the ducal household. Charlotte's arms were covered in scratch marks. She asked urgently, the thing, did you bring it? The cloaked man looked displeased. Hurry and hand it over. I'm reaching my limit. Charlotte held out her trembling palm. The cloaked man placed pills into her hand. He warned her. The side effects seem to be getting worse. Be careful. If the Baron finds out you're still taking these. Charlotte snapped back emotionally. My father is the one who made me take this medicine in the first place. Even if he finds out, so what? The cloaked man sighed and turned to leave. Just this once. Charlotte grabbed his wrist. You should have given it to me long ago. Just because I stuttered, you gave me this stuff. Who was it that got me addicted in the first place? The cloaked man shook off her hand. What is this? Why is there so little? She spread open the small pouch in her hand. There were only a few pills inside. This is all we could get with great difficulty. The Marquis has practically monopolized all the pills. Even the Baron can't get any. Charlotte's face darkened. Damn it. She swallowed the pill, and a faint glow spread around her body as her entire frame relaxed. She let out a long breath. Now, I finally feel alive again. The cloaked man asked again, so the Grand Duchess's reaction to that woman was only this? Charlotte replied disdainfully, I told you. She reacted just like a child hearing news of her nanny. Is that nanny really Marquis Blanche's mistress? That's what the Baron suspects. The cloaked man gave his final instructions. In any case, the Baron says the Marquis's strange habits are becoming harder and harder to deal with. He left one final warning. You'd better find information that can be used against the Marquis as soon as possible. The Baron said to use any means necessary. Until next time, he turned and left, and the door shut softly. Charlotte stared at the door, deep in thought. Her eyes flickered. The drug Marquis Blanche has monopolized. I don't know what it's made of, but if I want to stay sane, I have to get it. Charlotte looked down at the small pouch in her hand. Inside were red pills. Maybe I should go straight to the Marquis. Yes, I can't keep waiting for Father forever. If I want to sever ties before he abandons me, I'll have to strike first. Charlotte's gaze grew resolute. No matter what, I have to get information and negotiate with Marquis Blanche. She clenched the medicine pouch in her hand, a cold smile curling at her lips. Someday, I'll escape from here. The black market in Marquis Blanche's territory. A dark back alley. A man led the way. This way, my lord. Jonathan, carrying a case, walked steadily through the alley. He lifted the hood of his cloak. Baron Calder's men have been watching more closely lately. He wants to find out the composition of the pills. He followed me all the way here, so I deliberately let him open a shop on the edge of the black market. A man bowed to Jonathan. Thank you, Marquis, for giving us such a good location. He asked tentatively, would you be willing to share some information about the pills? Jonathan folded his hands, his eyes cold. His greed knows no bounds. A subordinate asked quietly, shall I dispose of him? At your word. Jonathan raised a hand to stop him. Not yet. He still has his uses. Leave him. I heard he even sent people to the Grand Ducal residence to investigate my background. That fool won't find a thing. The more he flaunts my name everywhere, the more anxious he'll become. That suits me perfectly, even if he really learns what the pills are made of. A faint sneer appeared at Jonathan's lips. He'll probably regret it enough to want to strangle himself. After all, he was the one who made his daughter take them. Jonathan entered the room, his footsteps echoing in the empty space. He looked around in disgust. No matter how many times I come here, this place is revolting. He sat down and opened the case. Getting straight to the point, he asked, how are things in the Holy Kingdom now? Another cloaked man answered respectfully, the same as ever. He continued his report. They treat the Phyllis estate like a dumping ground and have no interest in it at all. I've taken your newly opened route several times, and they've noticed nothing. Jonathan nodded slightly. Good. The cloaked man urged, we shouldn't take too much of your time. Let's talk business. Jonathan pushed the case over. The money is ready. The cloaked man accepted it. Thank you. This is what you wanted. Jonathan opened the small box. Inside were golden magic stones. He picked one up and examined it. Only 12? The quantity really has gone down. The cloaked man explained awkwardly. We did our best. But lately, every time we approach the Grand Ducal border, their soldiers seize all the magic stones. Judging by how quickly they respond whenever the border opens, I believe the Cliff Grand Ducal House has begun researching them on its own. Jonathan fell into thought. The Grand Ducal House. That's unexpected. I've finally managed to take control of the black market, so I need to secure the supply of magic stones. But if the Grand Ducal House always gets there first whenever the border opens, the plan may be disrupted. If this latest batch fails to cultivate again, then it's certain that almost all the magic stones are now in the Cliff Grand Ducal House. Yes, that's what we think as well. Fortunately, I'm not without connections to the Grand Ducal House. The cloaked man turned in shock. What do you mean by... A glint of gold flashed in Jonathan's eyes. It seems our procurement plan needs a slight adjustment. A meaningful smile crossed his face as black thorns spread out beneath his feet. A few days later, at the Grand Ducal residence. The steward asked softly, "Shouldn't we begin searching right away, my lady?" Lord Sebastian clearly said that once he finished reporting the Northern Guard's matter to the imperial family, he would return. Erica turned around anxiously. "But he's been gone for days without a word. By now, he should already have reached the imperial palace and contacted us. He's not the kind of person who would vanish for days without reason, not without informing the Grand Duke or Vincent." The steward lowered his eyes. "The Grand Duke is already aware of this. He says it may simply be a communication issue and told us to wait 3 more days." Erica protested, "But the duchy's surroundings are full of monsters now. What if something happened to him?" The steward's voice grew heavy. "I understand your concern, my lady, but please understand. Lord Sebastian is the heir to Grand Duke Cliff. If we make a grand show of searching for him, it would be the same as announcing to everyone that something has happened to the heir. In 3 days, he'll definitely return, right? He is the Grand Duke's son, after all." Erica lowered her eyes. "All right, I understand. Left alone, I'm so worried I can't sleep at all." Erica looked up at the sky. She clasped her hands together and prayed devoutly. "Goddess who protects the Angelium Empire, if you can hear my prayer, please let Lord Sebastian return safely." Lord Sebastian. A gust of wind blew by, carrying several fallen leaves. Sebastian gasped for breath, struggling to push himself upright. His arms were filthy. Damn it! 3 days earlier, Sebastian had drawn his sword, and a flash of steel had cut through the air. He issued an order. After killing it, "Keep your distance immediately." One Knight answered, "Yes, sir." Another stepped forward to report, "My lord, the monster I killed was the last one." "Good work, everyone. Prepare your weapons and clean up the scene. Be careful not to touch the monster's corpses." The knights replied in unison, "Yes." These monsters were small this time, so they were dealt with quickly. Sebastian frowned thoughtfully. Wasn't the last appearance at the border only a week ago? They're appearing faster and over a wider range. I must report this to the imperial family. Sebastian turned to Erica. "Erica, go back to the Grand Ducal residence first." Erica sat on horseback. "What about you, Sebastian?" "I have to report the situation on the northern line of defense to the imperial family. The cycle of monster appearances at the border is growing shorter. The situation is not optimistic." Erica looked troubled. "You're leaving right now? You just fought monsters, and now you have to hurry to the capital. That must be exhausting." Sebastian looked at her reassuringly. "It's all right. The sooner the capital is informed, the sooner they can prepare. I'll contact you once I reach the palace. Don't worry." Erica nodded gently. I understand." Sebastian turned to a blonde knight. "Vincent, I'm heading to the imperial palace. I'll leave the return march of the subjugation squad to you." The knight answered respectfully, "Yes, my lord. I'll select an escort to accompany you." Sebastian raised a hand to stop him. "No need. While I'm gone, the Golden Unit must remain here to protect Erica's safety. Have 2 of the new recruits from the subjugation squad resupply, and then send them with me. The border area is expanding, so it will be a good chance for them to familiarize themselves with the route to the capital." The blonde knight bowed. "Yes, understood." Erica watched the man's retreating figure, unease showing in her eyes. He turned back to remind them, "Just in case, everyone must stay on high alert on the way back." She told herself, "He'll be fine, right? It's Sebastian, after all." Hoofbeats thundered. Sebastian spurred his horse forward and urged, "Faster. We have to arrive by tomorrow." The 2 recruits followed close behind. "Yes, my lord." Suddenly, a black shadow dropped from the sky and slammed into the ground. Sebastian yanked on the reins, and the horses screamed in alarm. He whipped around. What was that just now? His eyes sharpened. Something's coming. Sebastian looked at the collapsed horses, his face grim. How much longer can they hold out? "Without horses, we can't continue. We have to get back before their injuries worsen." He looked at the wounded soldiers. One of them clutched his chest in pain. Sebastian's expression hardened. "It's the same type of monster we encountered before leaving, but much larger." The monster let out a shrill screech and charged forward, making the ground tremble. "Maybe the ones we killed were young, and this one is their mother. It must have smelled the blood of its young on us and chased us this far." One of the recruits struggled to speak. "My lord, now is the time. Please escape the forest alone." He clutched his chest tightly. "Because of us. You've been trapped here too. We know it ourselves. If you were alone, you could definitely escape easily." Sebastian cut him off coldly. Enough. He gritted his teeth and wrapped cloth around his arm. I will never let a monster run wild here. We'll deal with it together, and we'll return together. I won't accept any objections. He turned to the two recruits. I'll attack again when an opening appears. At that moment, you two must run. The recruits answered together. Yes, my lord. The monster's huge limbs scraped across the ground with a shrill sound. It's fast. I have to kill it in one strike before it notices. The monster slowly turned its head, saliva dripping from its jaws. Sebastian gripped his sword tightly, searching for a vital point that would kill it in one blow with the least blood spray. He suddenly lunged, power surging into the blade. It drove hard into the monster's armored weak point. The blade sank in, and the creature shrieked horribly. Sebastian panted. I didn't think something this simple would cause such massive trouble. A recruit peeked out from behind cover and screamed in terror. My lord, behind you. Sebastian spun around, his pupils contracting. What? Another monster had raised its claw high and brought it crashing down with a roar of wind. The recruit's voice tore through the air. There's another one. The monster shrieked sharply, saliva dripping from its mouth. Sebastian cursed under his breath. Damn it! He tightened his grip on the sword, his body trembling slightly from exhaustion. The huge shadow of the monster rushed at him. His eyes narrowed. I can't dodge it. The monster's vast black shadow swallowed him whole. A crisp cracking sound rang out. Blood burst into the air. The recruits stared in horror at the scene before them, mouths hanging open. The severed claw of the monster sprayed black bodily fluid in an arc through the air. Commotion erupted outside the residence. Erica stopped walking. Why is the residence so noisy? But why is the atmosphere so chaotic? She hurried to the balcony. Could Sebastian have returned? Erica leaned forward to look. The entrance to the residence was in uproar. People were frantic and panicked. Sebastian staggered, the wound on his arm oozing dark purple-black blood. He was breathing hard. Erica's pupils shrank in shock. Why? Why does he look like that? She rushed down the stairs. Sebastian, a knight stopped her. Grand Duchess, please do not come any closer right now. Erica halted, staring at the unsteady back before her. My husband. Sebastian did not turn around. In a hoarse voice, he said, That's right. Don't come near me. Erica, not now. Then Felix spoke gravely. He's been poisoned. Erica whipped around. Poison, Felix explained. He was splashed with the blood of a monster that appeared at the border. That color is not human blood, and the dark fluid spreading through the wound. Could it be monster blood? Erica covered her mouth, her face turning pale in an instant. Monster blood is as deadly as poison to humans. Father-in-law's arm was wounded by it too. At this rate, Sebastian will. Felix's voice was heavy. Sebastian, you must walk up by yourself. You know why? Erica's gaze hardened. Yes, I know. Sebastian's body shook violently as he forced himself onward, climbing the steps one at a time with great difficulty. Felix ordered the servants, Go up first and prepare the room. The servants bowed. Yes, my lord. He turned to Erica, his voice leaving no room for argument. Erica, you go back to your room as well. Erica looked up sharply. Aye. She hurried forward and grabbed Felix's arm. Father-in-law, please wait. I want to help too. Isn't there anything I can do? Erica's eyes were earnest. Since this has to do with the border, maybe I can be of some help. Felix looked at her in silence. His expression was complicated. Felix turned his face aside, his gaze heavy. Erica, his voice carried an unshakable finality. For now, stay away from Sebastian. Silence filled the room. Sebastian lay on the bed, breathing steadily. Footsteps broke the quiet. Felix entered the room. He silently assisted him. Turning to the attendant behind him, Felix asked, What about the holy water? The attendant answered, The situation was urgent. We only had one bottle on hand. The man clenched his notebook so hard his knuckles turned white. For many years, we've tried countless methods to stop the necrosis caused by monster blood, but the only effective one so far is holy water. Even so, holy water can only stop the spread. It cannot fully heal it. The man asked in a low voice, How much holy water does the Grand Ducal House have left? About 20 bottles, and they're very small. It's nowhere near enough to wash Sebastian's whole body. There's no choice. Use those first to cleanse the monster blood. Understood. I'll handle it myself. Felix nodded. Good. Just in case, remember to wear protective gloves. Don't let the blood touch you. Yes, my lord. Felix reached out and handed the attendant a crest. The attendant accepted it respectfully. Grand Duke, leave at once, in secret, for the Holy Kingdom. Request more holy water and have them unofficially send a high priest as well. A loud crash sounded and books scattered across the floor. Erica murmured under her breath, Lord Sebastian. Ever since Sebastian returned a few days ago, loud crashes and screams had echoed through the residence every day. Because his wounds had been contaminated by monster blood, he ordered himself isolated from everyone. Stay away from Sebastian for now. Those were his own words. Though everyone was worried and curious, Sebastian's condition was kept completely secret. Rationally, I understand, but I can't stop worrying about the residents and about Lord Sebastian. Erica's eyes grew firm. So I'll help however I can. For today, I'll start by learning the terrain. Beginning tomorrow, I'll also study monsters. Even if Lord Sebastian isn't here, monsters will still appear at the border. Charlotte peered in through a crack in the door. Looks like Erica's spending the day in the library again. Ever since the Grand Duke was injured, the whole residence has been in chaos. A faint smile tugged at Charlotte's lips. Thanks to this confusion, it'll be much easier for me to act. Maybe I should look for that gift that was sent to Marquis Blanche. She turned and walked away, her skirt tracing an arc through the air. Charlotte moved briskly down the hall. The young master's room is now off limits, and the Grand Duke is practically living in his office. She pushed open a door. The only place I can get into now is Erica's room. Charlotte looked around. To be honest, I don't have much hope for this room. She pulled open a drawer. Even if she is the Marquis's daughter, any secrets she has are probably under her father's control. Inside the drawer was only a crude doll. That's it? How boring. At this rate, I'm just wasting time. I'd be better off searching the servants' quarters. Suddenly, a maid came in. My lady. Charlotte jumped and quickly shut the drawer. You must be tired. I'll prepare your bathwater at once. Erica composed herself again. Thank you, Joanna. The maid turned and left. Charlotte stared at Erica's back. Damn it. Hasn't she been staying in the library until late every day recently? Why did she come back early of all days today? Hiding behind the door, Charlotte kept a close watch on the room. The maid poured hot water into the bathtub. The temperature is just right. Please relax. I'll help you bathe. Erica stood with her back to her. No, that's all right. Go and rest. The maid hesitated. My lady. Erica closed her eyes. I want to be alone for a while. The maid could only bow. Of course. If you need anything, please call for me at any time. Erica answered softly, thank you. The maid turned and left, her footsteps gradually fading away. Charlotte peeked out from behind the door, her gaze sharp. What did she just hide? Erica stood before the residence. I've come to welcome an important guest. But at a time like this, who would come? Is it really safe for the Grand Ducal House to let outsiders in? The sound of hoofbeats drew near. Felix stood beside Erica. They're here. The main gate slowly opened, and a blond man in clerical robes walked in with a smile. Hello, I am Father Jorge de Mori of the Holy Kingdom. The priest was only 20 years old. Felix stepped forward. I am Felix. Thank you for coming such a long way. Erica stared at the priest. A priest. He sealed the monster border with holy water. That means divine power is also related to monsters. Maybe he's here to heal Lord Sebastian. Erica gave a slight curtsy. Thank you for coming. I am Erica Cliff. The priest nodded in reply. And thank you for receiving me. Felix's expression was grave. My apologies. You've come from far away, and we ought to offer you tea. But as you can see, the situation is quite serious. A sharp scream pierced the stillness from deep within the residence. The priest grew serious. I appreciate your courtesy, but let me see the young lord's condition first. Felix ordered. Vincent, take Father de Mori to Sebastian's room. Vincent bowed and gestured ahead. Of course. This way, please. I'll show you. The priest replied politely, thank you. He turned to follow them. In his golden eyes, a barely noticeable sharpness flashed. As the priest and his party departed, Erica watched them go. What was that just now? That look in his eyes. Felix turned to the attendant. Thank you for bringing the priest here. You've done well. The attendant replied, it was nothing, but that priest looks very young. The attendant explained, yes, I was surprised at first too, but he really is a high-ranking clergyman. I heard he has already been chosen as the next high priest. I also heard he was the disciple of the former captain of the Holy Knights. Erica clasped her hands together. The disciple of the former captain of the Holy Knights, and the successor to the high priest. If it's him, maybe he really can cure Lord Sebastian. The priest's back seemed to glow in the sunlight, as though holiness itself had taken human form. The priest's green eyes flew wide open. Sunlight pierced his vision, as though illuminating something hidden completely. Several days later, the door slowly opened. The priest stepped out. "My lady, you've come to visit again today?" Erica stood outside the door. "Yes, Father, thank you for your hard work again today." After several days of careful treatment by Father Jorge, Lord Sebastian's screams no longer echoed through the entire residence. Smiling faintly, Erica said, "Even though I still can't go near Lord Sebastian." He pushed the door open. The room was as dim as ever, and Sebastian's figure could barely be seen inside. "Has his condition improved?" Father Jorge stood behind her. "He seems to have noticed that you come to visit him every day." The priest continued, "He sends his greetings and hopes he can see you soon." Erica looked slightly surprised. "Is that so? Thank you for telling me. I've been learning about Lord Sebastian's condition through the priest." The two walked through the garden while the fountain murmured nearby. "The Grand Duke's health is gradually recovering. He has regained enough reason to speak calmly with me." Father Jorge added, "However, judging by his continued extreme sensitivity to light, his optic nerves still seem unstable. He has already developed resistance to ordinary painkillers. For now, receiving divine healing and remaining at rest is the best method." Erica's gaze darkened. Divine power. She unconsciously clenched her fist. "If only I had divine power too. If I could heal Lord Sebastian myself." Erica looked up. "Father, does everyone in the Holy Kingdom possess divine power?" Father Jorge answered calmly, "Yes. Though the strength of one's divine power differs from person to person, the Holy Kingdom itself was founded by those blessed with divine grace." Erica thought for a moment. "Then research into divine power must be quite advanced there." She asked cautiously, "Is it possible to acquire divine power later in life?" Father Jorge paused slightly. "There are indeed a very few cases in which divine power awakens later. However, as far as I know, divine power is strongly hereditary. And in your Blanche family, no one with divine power has ever appeared." He looked directly at Erica. "Do you desire divine power, my lady?" Erica gave him a gentle smile. "Yes, I was simply thinking that if I had divine power, I could help Lord Sebastian." Father Jorge's eyes deepened. "Possessing divine power is not always a blessing. Serving the goddess is certainly an honor, but once one enters the Holy Kingdom, one must spend the rest of one's life there." The angel statue in the sunlight seemed to confirm his words. "That is why many children in the Holy Kingdom are separated from their families." Erica's breathing hitched. "That's too cruel. Then, are all the people living in the Holy Kingdom there by choice?" Her hand tightened unconsciously. What if someone refused such a life? Father Jorge's body stiffened. He gripped the rosary in his hand and fell silent. Erica looked at him in confusion. Father Jorge's voice turned cold. "Those who possess divine power but refuse to become clergy or try to leave the order are regarded as heretics and hunted for life by the inquisitors." Rain drummed down, washing over Erica's memory. "Jorge, I don't think I can take you with me anymore. I have someone I must protect." A hooded man turned away into the darkness. His words pierced to the bone like freezing rain. "I'm sorry. Please live on." The cry of pursuit echoed through the woods. "Search every corner. He is a heretic who betrayed the faith. Capture him at any cost." Father Jorge clenched his fist. Fragments of memory stabbed at him. Erica whispered in shock, "A heretic?" Father Jorge came back to himself. It seems I've frightened you. I must have been reminded of the former captain of the Holy Knights and ended up speaking on such a heavy topic without realizing it. Let's go back. It looks like it's about to rain." Raindrops began to fall, and the rain tapped against the window. A hand drew back the heavy curtain. Even with rain like this, I still can't see a single bit of light. It's as if I've been cursed." He abruptly let go of the curtain. "Could it be that I'll never see again?" A knock sounded at the door. A voice came from outside. "My lord, it's me," he replied in a low voice. "Come in." The door opened, and a uniformed man walked in quickly. "My lord, are you already able to move about?" Sebastian turned around. My body is recovering," he asked calmly. "Has there been any other disturbance in the territory?" The man answered respectfully, "No. Since that day, there have been no further abnormalities." Sebastian's expression relaxed a little. "That's good." His hand brushed over the arm of the sofa. "What about Erica? I thought I heard her voice. Is she still here?" "The priest has already escorted her back. I heard Father issued a strict order forbidding her from coming near me, but she still keeps lingering nearby. It must be hard on her." The man replied, "Isn't that only because she's worried about you? After all, you've only just regained consciousness, and she's already gone back to lessons and resumed her daily life." Sebastian's fingers tightened. "Then all that remained was for me to recover as well." "That's right. I can't stay locked in this room forever. Things may be calm now, but who knows when the next disturbance will break out. Father Jorge will return to the Holy Kingdom one day. Ordinary medicine is useless. I need something stronger." Sebastian raised his head, his gaze firm. "My lord, there is something I need you to do." The man bowed and answered, "Understood. Please give the order, my lord." Sebastian's voice was low and resolute. "You must go to the black market. I will do everything in my power." Meanwhile, in Erica's room, the door quietly creaked open. Charlotte slipped inside on tiptoe. "I'm sure that child was wandering around here. He was feeling around everywhere for something. I have to find it before class ends." Charlotte's fingers brushed across the desk, then suddenly stopped. "Found it." She picked up a small bottle. "What kind of potion is this?" "I heard she's physically weak. Is this medicine she takes regularly?" "The smell is strong, and the color doesn't look like something edible. If it's used while washing up, then it must be for external use." A bottle of red liquid. Before her marriage, Erica was called the red-haired lady of House Blanche. But what if that red hair wasn't really hers? A cold smile curled at Charlotte's lips. "Ah, this is quite an unexpected discovery. No wonder I heard that child used to have a nasty temper, yet has been strangely obedient lately. I need to see the Marchioness right away." Footsteps echoed through the corridor. Erica pushed open the door, a delighted smile on her face. "Sebastian." Sebastian was sitting in the room. He looked up. "Erica, it's been a while." Erica spoke softly. "I heard your eyes are much better." Sebastian gave a slight nod. "Yes, as you can see. I'm glad I can see you again like this. I am relieved." Erica turned to the priest beside him. "Father, what kind of treatment did you use to help Sebastian recover so quickly? Didn't you say he would need a long period of rest?" Holding his teacup, the priest replied, "I'm curious myself. I didn't provide any special treatment." He turned to Grand Duke Sebastian. "Did your grace receive treatment elsewhere?" Sebastian lowered his gaze. "It's nothing. I just took some painkillers sold on the market." Erica looked at him in surprise. "Why does he seem so unhappy?" Sebastian's adjutant suddenly spoke up. "Did you really take that medicine?" Sebastian raised a hand to stop him. "My lord, please don't say anything unnecessary. I'm fine now." Erica's heart stirred. Is he talking about the medicine I saw before? If even his lordship is this shocked, then it must be a very strong drug. But Sebastian said he was fine, so he should be fine, right? "Don't worry, Erica, he'll be all right." The priest instructed, "Although the medicine is effective, you have not fully recovered yet. Please avoid strenuous activity. I will remain at the ducal estate for some time. If any symptoms appear, tell me at once." Sebastian wiped his sweat away. "All right, I will." A few weeks passed. Sebastian's eyes had recovered. Erica sipped her tea leisurely. The priest had sternly told him to focus on resting, even if it took months, so he had stayed in his room the whole time. The problem was that he spent every day buried in mountains of paperwork, trying to catch up on all the work that had piled up. Erica walked into the study and softly called Sebastian. He raised his head from the documents, his eyes showing faint exhaustion. Erica held out a teacup. "Please relax a little." Sebastian looked out the window. "But if I relax, the work will pile up even more." Suddenly, he let out a muffled groan and covered his face with his hand. Erica immediately stood up. "What is it? Are you feeling unwell?" Sebastian's voice was weak. "No. Erica, could you give me the medicine?" Erica quickly answered, of course. She hurried to fetch the bottle. "But you've been taking it too often lately. Are you really all right?" Sebastian's hand trembled slightly as he poured out the pills. "Don't worry." Erica silently nodded. "All right." She watched Sebastian. The interval between doses is getting shorter and shorter. "Is he really okay?" Sebastian set down the papers, his gaze calm. In the study that afternoon. "Time flies. Let's stop today's lesson here." Erica stood and bowed. "Yes, Miss Lauren. Thank you for teaching me today." Miss Lauren smiled. Your etiquette was already impeccable, but now Erica is truly flawless. Erica's eyes shone. That's all thanks to your excellent guidance. Teacher, Erica added, Miss Charlotte helped me a great deal as well. Has she still not come back? Miss Lauren gave a soft sigh. No, she didn't come today either. She's a free spirit, always wandering around, so I can understand that. But I'm very worried. She hasn't shown herself for days. She's never been away this long. Erica watched her teacher's back. Even though Miss Lauren wasn't showing it, she was worried about Charlotte too. Miss Charlotte, I hope you're safe. Underground market cavern. Footsteps echoed through the damp cave. A wooden door creaked open. A man covered his nose and frowned in disgust. Pardon the interruption, Marquis. Jonathan turned around. The man reported respectfully. The young lady of House Calder says she has something to tell you from an apothecary. She's waiting at the manor. Jonathan raised a brow. The Calder girl? Did she come alone? Without the Baron? Yes. It's the daughter who once infiltrated the Grand Duke Cliff's residence. She's already been waiting for several days. Jonathan thought for a moment. It seems the medicine she got before has run out. He toyed with a gold coin. To come all the way here by herself. She must be quite desperate. Then he asked, by the way, what about the medicine I ordered? Jonathan looked at the subordinate who was hard at work. Is the quantity enough? The subordinate turned around. No, Marquis. It's still not enough. Jonathan clicked his tongue. I thought so. I'll leave now. Do your best to meet the deadline. The subordinate bowed his head stiffly. Yes, sir. Good. Then let's go hear what nonsense she has to say. Jonathan casually tossed down a gold coin and turned to leave. Inside the manor, Charlotte rose and curtsied. My greetings to you, Marquis. Charlotte answered firmly. Yes. Jonathan crossed one leg over the other. Yes, yes. Have you been waiting long? You seemed very eager to see me. Charlotte loosened her cloak. I found something interesting. On the table before Jonathan, a cup of red liquid seemed to appear out of nowhere, bubbles swirling inside it. Charlotte's eyes narrowed. Where is she now? She held out the bottle toward Jonathan. Your real daughter. Jonathan's gaze turned cold. What is that? Charlotte raised the little bottle in her hand. I found this medicine in your daughter's room at the Marquis' estate. It turns out it's hair dye. Charlotte's tone held a trace of mockery. Red, just like your hair color, Marquis. The stopper was pulled free, and the liquid sloshed inside the bottle. Jonathan clenched his fist. That useless girl. In the end, she still managed to cause trouble. She was far too careless. No one knows when or where they were switched, but if the Grand Ducal House finds out the bride is a fake, they definitely won't let it go. Charlotte toyed with the bottle in her hand, the lid pressed tightly in place. Jonathan's gaze shifted slightly. I understand. Since you came to me instead of the Grand Duke, there must be another reason. He looked straight at Charlotte. What do you want? A smile curled at Charlotte's lips. In the darkness, several scarlet pills appeared. Marquis, the pills you've monopolized. I want you to grant me the right to sell them as well. I want the distribution rights to those pills. Jonathan sneered inwardly. This arrogant girl wants to expand the pill trade and take a share of the profits. A smile rose on his lips. How convenient. Those pills are being made right here. As we speak, they're being processed downstairs. Why don't we go down and discuss it in detail? Charlotte smiled readily. Of course. The Marquis' bodyguard instantly understood the murderous intent hidden beneath those words. As you command. Jonathan turned to the attendant by the door, his tone turning icy. Politely escort this young lady to the nearest entrance to the processing area. He turned to Charlotte and made a gesture of invitation. Then, Miss, let me take you downstairs. Charlotte nodded. Thank you. After Charlotte left, the door softly closed. Jonathan let out a cold laugh. He picked up the red bottle on the table. It's time to send my daughter a little gift. The bottle gleamed ominously in his hand, as if foreshadowing an approaching storm. Meanwhile, at another residence, Erica was fiddling with the little item in her hands. Sebastian hasn't been sleeping well lately, so I prepared this. I made it myself. I wonder if it'll help. Erica held a handmade sachet. Inside were lavender and mugwort, meant to aid sleep. I hope he'll like it. She pushed open the study door and softly called, Sebastian. The room was empty. Where'd he go? Erica stepped inside. Lately, his study had been lit up all night. A muffled sound came from the shadows. Erica startled. What was that? She looked around and called Sebastian's name again. Another pained gasp came from beneath the desk. Sebastian, Erica cried out and rushed over. Are you all right? Sebastian, can you open your eyes? She fell to her knees and supported his trembling body. Wait, I'll get your medicine. Erica hurriedly reached for the medicine bottle, only to discover that it was already empty. The medicine is gone. Sebastian lifted his head, his eyes bloodshot. With all the strength he had, he roared, Erica, get out. Erica froze in place. What do I do, Sebastian? If this continues, he'll go back to how he used to be. Erica suddenly grabbed his hand. No, I'll stay with you. Struggling, Sebastian growled, I said go. You'll get hurt. Erica closed her eyes. I don't want to be powerless again. If no matter how hard I try, I still can't change anything, then at least. She clasped his hand tightly. A warm light spread from where their hands met. Sebastian's body jolted. What is this feeling? The red in Sebastian's eyes gradually faded. He felt that power. It was like holy power, yet different. A warm current flowed into him, like clean water washing over his eyes, bringing a refreshing sensation. The light faded, and Sebastian regained his reason. The priest fell into thought. For his grace to have recovered this quickly is deeply unsettling. Is that medicine what has been stabilizing his condition? If even holy power cannot reach it, then it must be an extremely potent drug. He sensed a strange fluctuation of energy and sharply turned his gaze in a certain direction. That direction. He spun around at once. Your Grace. The priest rushed into the study and saw Erica supporting Sebastian. Their clasped hands had only just separated. Golden alarm filled the priest's green eyes. Sebastian lay in bed while Erica kept watch by his side. The priest and an attendant stood at the foot of the bed, whispering quietly. It came on suddenly. Has his condition worsened again? The attendant sighed in relief. Fortunately, your reverence arrived in time. The priest nodded. Yes. Luckily, he's much more stable now. He should sleep well tonight. He turned to everyone else. Now all of you should return to your rooms and rest. Erica remained where she was, hands clenched tightly, looking at the priest's back with a complicated expression. A few minutes earlier, the priest recalled what had just happened. Lady Erica, just now you truly possess holy power. Sitting on the floor, Erica looked bewildered. What? But I've never had holy power. The priest spoke slowly. Though I never mentioned it, for a long time now, I have felt a familiar power from you. He shook his head slightly. Perhaps one of your ancestors was blessed by Saint Tony. The Grand Duke seems to have calmed down as well. Erica looked at the sleeping Sebastian. Then, could it be? A glimmer of hope appeared on her face. Can I heal Sebastian? The priest answered firmly, yes. But his expression grew serious. However, for now it would be best if no one learned of this. Erica sat beside the bed, holding Sebastian's hand. So, will you keep it secret for me? Because anyone who possesses holy power must go to the Holy Kingdom, no matter what. Even so, I'm glad. If I truly have holy power, then perhaps I can heal Sebastian completely. Tonight, I'll stay by his side. Erica clasped her hands together, her eyes shining. Beyond a night-dark window, stars twinkled. Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep. Erica had fallen fast asleep with her head resting beside the bed. Her hand was still tightly holding Sebastian's. Thankfully, Sebastian seemed all right now. His breathing was steady. The priest had said he would sleep well tonight. Erica covered her mouth, suppressing a cough. I should at least wash my face. She walked into the washroom and turned the faucet. Clear water flowed into the basin. Erica looked at her reflection in the water and her eyes widened in horror. Why is the dye already worn off? It was still red yesterday. Her hands began to tremble unconsciously. Fear of her identity being exposed seized her. Erica touched her long hair. Did it grow this much overnight? First, I need to. Erica dashed out of the room, racing down the empty corridor. Her footsteps rang through the silence. Hurry, the dye. Erica groped around beside the bed. Why isn't it here? Someone took the hair dye. Who? Erica looked up in shock. Cold sweat instantly soaked her back. Did someone clean in here? But they've never touched my things. What do I do? Erica's pupil shrank, sweat trickling down. People will come in the morning. Countless eyes appeared in the darkness, watching her, waiting for dawn to expose the lie. Judgment stood right outside the door. Exposure was only a moment away. If they see me like this. Erica clamped a hand over her mouth, suppressing a retch. A suffocating sensation rose in her throat. Not only will I be thrown out of the ducal house for deception, the Marquis will be furious that I ruined everything. And Mother Julia's back, fading away into the darkness. I may never see her again. I have to think of something. Erica, think of something. Erica's desperate eyes searched for an answer. I need to get hair dye right away. Go to the Marquis' house? No, that's too far. Is there anywhere nearby that sells dye? When I went to Langford, I saw a general store selling hair dye. A glimmer of hope flashed in Erica's eyes. Right? I'll go to Langford. I know the roads around the duchy very well now. I can go there and back on my own. Erica suddenly stood up, determined. I'll ride Snow there. She stroked the white horse's neck. Sure, good boy. The night wind blew past. Erica put on a hat, her cheeks flushed with tension. Erica suddenly pulled hard on the reins. Her heart pounded wildly. Someone was there. A voice came from the darkness. Miss, were you going so late? Erica's eyes widened in alarm. Garion. Erica forced herself to remain calm. I'm just stepping out for a bit. Garion's voice remained flat. At this hour, while it's still dark, cold sweat slid down Erica's face. Any would-be duchess riding out alone at dawn would seem suspicious to anyone. What should I say? Garion's gaze was steady. Then I'll go with you. Erica's pupils shrank. What? In the night, the two of them and the horse stood in tense confrontation. The atmosphere froze. Garion's tone allowed no argument. I won't ask what you're going to do. I will simply follow. I will also keep the secret of escorting you. Erica froze where she stood. Garion was right. No matter how quickly I go, I might run into danger. But if he follows me without reporting it, he won't escape responsibility either. Garion spoke earnestly. It's too dangerous for you to go out alone. Please allow me to accompany you. He didn't seem willing to back down. In the end, Erica relented. All right, as long as he doesn't see me buying the dye. She lightly tapped the horse forward, and the two disappeared together into the pre-dawn darkness. The sound of hooves faded away, and the ducal residence returned to silence. Dawn was breaking. Sunlight filtered through the curtains as Sebastian tossed and turned in bed. He rubbed his temples. My head is splitting. The door opened softly, and the priest entered. He asked quietly, Your Grace, how is your body? Sebastian rubbed his brow. I feel much clearer than before. Did you treat me? The priest gave a slight nod. Yes, I treated you while you slept. I'm very glad you've improved, Your Grace. Sebastian lowered his eyes. Is that so? He thought to himself, the priest's treatment has never made me feel this clear before. Even though my consciousness was hazy then, I'm certain it wasn't him. A memory flashed through Sebastian's mind. Erica healed me, but why is she hiding it? He remembered that night, her hand gently holding his holy light wrapping around them both. Sebastian's thoughts were interrupted. He turned to the priest. Your Reverence, perhaps. A voice came from outside. Is Milady here? The attendant looked around. No, it seems she isn't here either. Sebastian looked around in alarm. Why are they looking for Erica? Did something happen? The man's voice trembled. Milady, she left only a letter behind and disappeared. Sebastian's pupils contracted sharply. What? He immediately got up. I'll take the knights and search for Erica at once. Felix clenched his hands. There's no need. Didn't Erica say she would return? He took out a letter. There was only a hastily written message on it. Sebastian's eyes turned resolute. If you won't allow the knights to move, then I'll go find her myself. The priest hurriedly tried to stop him. No, Your Grace. Felix said nothing, merely looking at him coldly. Then he spoke slowly. Sebastian, you've read Erica's letter. You should be able to guess that she had something she absolutely had to do. If you drag her back and prevent her from finishing it. If Erica comes to resent you because of that, could you bear it? Sebastian's fist clenched tightly, his knuckles turning white. He said through gritted teeth, I'll wait until tonight. If she hasn't returned by then, I'll go myself. Felix answered, all right, I understand. Sunlight poured over the empty street. Erica's voice rang out. Wait here a moment. I'll be right back. Garion looked puzzled. She hurried here overnight, so it must be urgent. I hope it's nothing bad. The doorbell chimed softly. Erica came running in, waving her hand. Garion. Garion turned in surprise. Miss, Erica smiled. Sorry, did I keep you waiting long? Garion sighed in relief. Your complexion looks much better. It seems the matter at the market has been resolved. She shook her head. Not all. So, shall we head back to the manor? Erica tightened her grip on the thing in her hand. No, not yet. I still can't go back. Erica's gaze was steady. I still need to dye my hair, and there's somewhere else I need to go. She stopped in front of a building. Garion looked at the inn before him. This is an inn? Erica walked to the front desk and said to the innkeeper, 1 room, please. Garion's face filled with shock. You're not going back today? Sweat slid down Garion's face. Are you planning to run away? A carriage stood quietly before the inn. The butler smiled to himself. My, showing up without warning like this. His expression then turned serious. Even if this is the young lady's home, this is far too rude, really lacking in decorum. A servant beside him gave a helpless smile. The Marquis ordered me to deliver his daughter's birthday gift as quickly as possible. A splendid box lay there quietly, faintly gleaming. The butler looked disdainful. A birthday gift? That's not funny at all. Since the young lady came to the Grand Ducal house, he hasn't celebrated her birthday even once. The butler forced a smile. This is the first time in 3 years. He must be very busy. Yes, the Marquis has been occupied preparing a new business venture. The servant kept smiling pleasantly. He also asked me to convey his apologies to Her Grace. The butler looked at him coldly. He doesn't know how to talk. I don't know what you suddenly came here for, but at a time like this, we cannot let outsiders in. The young lady is out taking lessons. The butler remained calm. We will pass the gift on to her. The servant showed a faint false smile. About that, I was ordered to place it into the Grand Duchess's hands personally. If I leave it behind, they'll surely inspect it. This hair dye must be delivered in secret. If not, I'll come again tomorrow. The butler grew wary. Persistent, isn't he? If I keep refusing, it may arouse suspicion. In the end, he relented. Very well, then we'll trouble you. The carriage drove away, leaving behind the fading clatter of wheels. The butler sighed softly. The young lady needs to return quickly. The setting sun spread over the buildings. As dusk deepened, Erica folded a piece of white cloth and gently set it on the table. She faced her red hair. If you don't look closely, you can't tell at all. Thank goodness. I was on edge all night. A knock sounded at the door. Miss, I brought you something to eat. Erica opened the door a crack. Food. Garion stood there holding a tray. I asked the innkeeper for it. You haven't eaten anything all day. It may not be as good as what you're used to, but Erica stared at the bowl of soup. This is the same soup I drank on the way to the Grand Ducal estate. Everyone must be worried. We should go back. She showed a warm smile. You call this simple? You prepared so much for me. Erica invited him warmly. Let's eat together. Garion, it'll still take a long time to get back to the Grand Ducal estate. Garion remained silent, only picking up his spoon and stiffly stirring the soup. Do you still have something to do? Erica hurriedly waved her hands. Yes, I should return to the residence. But you're still hesitating. The spoon paused in the soup with a faint sound. Garion looked up. Miss, you need an excuse for going out today, don't you? Erica blinked in surprise, then understood. You guessed right. Garion suddenly said, I'll find an excuse for you. Erica looked confused. Garion reached into his coat and opened his hand. A yellow stone lay quietly on the white cloth. Use this. Erica's pupils shrank. A magic stone? Garion, how do you have this? Erica's voice trembled. Didn't you hand everything over to Her Grace? Garion had probably kept this magic stone as insurance. He explained calmly, just in case, I kept one extra magic stone. A relieved smile appeared on his face. I'm glad I can help you like this. Although the Grand Duchess had accepted him, he had once been rejected as an immigrant. He must have always felt uneasy. Erica clasped her hands to her chest and thanked him sincerely. Thank you so much, Garion. This way, the real reason I went out can stay hidden. The next morning, at the Grand Ducal estate, she still hadn't returned. Erica's departure became a secret shared only among a few in the residence. I have to hurry. As he adjusted his gloves, he thought, if news of the Grand Duchess's disappearance leaks out together with news of my treatment, word of the Grand Duke's instability will spread. In the end, only His Grace and I are searching. After investigating the footprints near the residence, we learned that Garion had disappeared as well. With a grave expression, he thought, at least she didn't leave alone. Is that supposed to be a comfort? I contacted the shadows to see whether she had gone there. I investigated the Marquis's manor too, but I still couldn't guess where she had gone. The sound of hooves echoed in the wind. Erica's figure was already far away. He suddenly stopped and turned to look at the empty corridor, his mind blank with confusion. Hoofbeats drew closer and closer. Two figures rode up on horseback. A voice rang out ahead. Erica! Erica looked up at the sound. Sebastian? He pulled sharply on the reins, and the white horse came to a stop. Erica hurriedly dismounted. Is it really okay for you to be out here? Sebastian rushed forward and grabbed her by the lapels. You fainted from pain just the day before yesterday. What if you're pushing yourself too hard? Did you get more medicine? He let Erica cup his face. I was going to scold you properly when you came back. He gently stroked the back of her hand. But now, Erica lowered her eyes. I'm sorry. He gazed at her. Where did you go without saying a word? His tone softened. But if you were that worried, then you should have stayed by my side. Seeing that you've returned safely, all I can feel is relief. Erica's eyes flickered. I sensed the barrier, so I went to confirm it. She opened her palm. By the time I arrived, the barrier had already closed. This is the magic stone I found. Sebastian's gaze dropped to the stone. What? He looked up, a trace of reproach in his voice. Do you know how dangerous it is to go alone? At the very least, you should have taken a suppression unit with you. Erica hesitated. Well, the sound of a carriage approached from afar and stopped at the entrance. A voice came from outside. The timing is perfect today. Footsteps followed, and a man entered the hall. It's regrettable that I couldn't see you yesterday. He bowed slightly to Erica. I'm very glad to meet you today, Your Grace, Grand Duchess. Erica's body stiffened. Who? The man placed a hand on his chest and introduced himself. It is an honor to meet you. I am Morrison, secretary to Marquis Blanche. Erica's heart clenched. Why would the Marquis's secretary come here? Sebastian said he had intended to personally deliver your birthday gift yesterday. Erica repeated the words. A birthday gift. Cold sweat ran down her cheek. Why now of all times? Right when I nearly exposed my identity. Does he know something? I have to speak with him. Morrison smiled. He bowed again. Erica cut him off. Sebastian, can I explain everything to you later? He gave a small nod. All right, see you later. Erica lifted her teacup, her fingertips trembling slightly. Erica looked at Morrison. A birthday gift from father? Morrison smiled. Yes, he asked me to deliver this to you. He pushed a small red pouch onto the table. Erica's pupils shrank. That's the hair dye I used before. I'm certain of it. She stared fixedly at the two little red bottles. They were identical. Someone took the dye from my room and handed it to the Marquis. Erica felt cold all over. Who was it? In the darkness, a pair of eyes snapped open behind iron bars, full of venomous hatred. Their owner violently shook the cage, making metal clang. Charlotte whipped around, trembling with fear. She staggered through the woods, tears streaming down her pale face beneath her cloak. With the last of her strength, she pleaded, please, save me. Footsteps echoed through the corridor, followed by the soft sound of a door opening. A male servant opened the door, light spilling in as he bowed and gestured. Lady Calder, this way, please. Finally, now I can have as many pills as I want. Charlotte stopped walking and looked back into the depths of the darkness behind her. Inside a wooden cage, something was ramming madly against the bars. What is that? A monster? The creature in the cage let out a low growl. Saliva dripped from between its fangs, and a pair of white eyes glowed in the dark. Charlotte took a frightened step back. Why is something like that here? The servant answered expressionlessly, this is the Marquis's order. Charlotte's pupils contracted sharply. Fear seized her heart. Blood splattered. A dull thud. The world went dark. When she opened her eyes again, a familiar cage stood before her. Cold hard bars. Charlotte awoke in agony. Everything hurts. Where is this? A low male voice sounded. You're finally awake. Magus emerged from the shadows, looking down at her. It seems Morrison was a bit rough when he brought you here. Charlotte trembled all over. Please, spare me. The monster. That monster. Jonathan's voice carried a trace of false reassurance. There. No need to be afraid. Jonathan gave a cold smile. Those pills you wanted are made from the flesh and blood of monsters. A blood-stained butcher's blade came down and severed one of the monster's limbs. Charlotte's pupils widened in terror. Trembling, she asked, W, what are you, really? Jonathan burst into wild laughter. Ha. You said you wanted the distribution rights for the pills. He opened his palm. In it lay a shining yellow gem. A promise is a promise. Then, Jonathan tossed the gem into the cage, where it rang sharply against the floor. With a creak, the cage door slowly opened. Jonathan looked down at her, his voice cold as iron. If you turn into a monster, I'll make pills from your flesh and blood. Charlotte struggled in despair. No, don't. Tears streaming down her face, she cursed them hoarsely. You devils, the goddess will punish you. Heaven will judge you. Jonathan turned away disdainfully. Judgment from heaven? Unfortunately, even the goddess is on my side. He continued, those magic stones were brought in by a priest. Of course, priests differ from priest to priest. They are inquisitors. They punish traitors who betray the holy teachings. While those priests were punishing such traitors, they discovered a secret. A magic crystal can use the human body as nourishment to breed monsters. After that, instead of carrying out executions, they were forced into researching the magic stones and secretly expanding their own power. But research requires money, so they began began looking for steady sponsors. That's how our dealings began. Jonathan muttered softly, a bunch of filthy scum doing vile things while pretending to be noble. A voice came from the darkness. Roar. Jonathan froze. What? A sharp pain shot through him. Jonathan looked toward the cage. That light. It's different from usual. Why is it glowing? The only thing that could make a magic stone react like that was holy power. Could it be that she had been in contact with a priest for a long time before this? Is it really safe to leave her here? Jonathan turned, his footsteps echoing through the empty basement. No, this won't do. At this rate, her body will breed countless monsters. Jonathan walked to the cage door and inserted a key into the lock. With a click, the door opened. A man stepped from the shadows. Marquis. Jonathan raised the key, his face calm. You've worked hard. The man lunged at the cage in horror. Marquis, open the door. He shook the iron bars frantically, making them pound loudly. Violet-black energy swallowed him up. His body twisted and melted, finally becoming a writhing pool of darkness. Magus turned and walked away, leaving the man's pleas behind. Marquis. The man's desperate cries rang out, and suddenly he let out a piercing scream. Jonathan stepped into the carriage, the wheels rocking slightly beneath him. He ordered the coachman, return to the Marquis's estate in the capital at once. The coachman answered respectfully, at once, my lord. Yes, my lord. Hoofbeats sounded in the night, and the carriage sped away. A figure hidden in the grass startled awake. That sound just now. A monster appeared in the Marquis's estate, but there had never been any barrier activity in Perlos. A white dove landed on the cloaked man's arm, the insignia of the Eclipse Intelligence Network. I must report this to the Grand Duke at once. Meanwhile, in Erica's bedroom, Erica inserted the key into her jewelry box. With a click, it locked. Thank goodness I got the die back. This time, I need to hide it more carefully. The person who stole it must have been Miss Charlotte. I wanted to believe she was a good person, but she guessed my identity through the hair dye. Whether she meant to blackmail me with it or repay her family by reporting it, she must have gone to the Marquis, thinking she could profit from it. But perhaps the Marquis has already killed her. Erica's figure looked lonely in the empty room. My true identity is a secret that can never be exposed. He even sent his secretary personally to warn me. Erica closed her eyes, cold sweat sliding down. I have to be more careful. A chill ran through her, and Erica shuddered. What is this ominous feeling? It's so strong. Is it the barrier? But the feeling isn't coming from Grand Duke Eclipse estate. Erica suddenly looked up. Sebastian? A voice came from the distance. Erica. She turned toward the voice. Sebastian stood there. You felt it too? The situation in Perlos. So it really is Perlos. Erica's expression grew serious. Yes, I can feel it. A tremendous demonic energy is erupting from that direction. Sebastian continued. I just received the same report from people in Perlos. In Perlos territory, at the estate of Marquis Blanche, a great number of monsters have appeared. The exact location of the boundary is unknown. Is presumed to be inside the estate. The report says the monsters suddenly poured out from there. Perlos lies close to the Holy Kingdom. They will do their best to hold the line, but there are too many monsters. We must send the Night Order as reinforcements. If monsters are pouring out from there. Erica's face was full of worry. If the monsters escape Perlos, or if a barrier forms, we'll have a hard time dealing with it. What should we do? Sebastian answered firmly, you're right. So before this turns into a disaster. Golden Imperial insignia gleamed. I must report this to the Imperial Palace. A few days later, in the Grand Capital, crowds whispered among themselves. When the world happened in Perlos, I heard they're still recruiting new members for the Night Order, and that black smoke has been rising for days. It feels like it's getting closer. The people are growing increasingly anxious. Erica frowned deeply. We have to resolve this before it gets worse. She clutched the hem of her clothes tightly. If we rely only on a cliff and the Holy Kingdom's power, we'll reach our limits sooner or later. I can't keep hiding like this. A knock came at the door. Erika answered, Come in. The priest entered. He bowed slightly. Your Grace, Grand Duchess. Erica's expression was solemn. Father, I have something to ask of you. Her gaze was firm. Please teach me how to use holy power. The priest hesitated. But your Grace, do you understand what it means to learn holy power? Erica met his eyes. Yes, I do. The priest explained. Everyone who possesses holy power must register with the Holy Kingdom. Yes, he added, and if that happens, it will become very difficult for you to see the Grand Duke's family again. Erica's expression did not change, as if she had already expected that outcome. The priest pressed on. Why have you made this decision? Erica's gaze sharpened. The reason you want to stop me is because of the former commander of the Holy Knights, isn't it? The priest's body jolted. How do you know about that? Erika answered honestly, I'm sorry. I heard about your teacher while investigating the Holy Kingdom, the former commander of the Holy Knights. When he tried to leave the Holy Kingdom, he was branded a traitor. They searched every corner, saying, he is a traitor, a fallen apostate. He must be captured. The reason he tried to leave the Holy Kingdom was to protect his family. Yes, he fled, saying he had to protect them. And then he was found dead. The priest lowered his gaze. His family is still missing to this day. Erica turned away. Even though bringing this up is painful for you, you told me because you want to stress how serious this is. I understand why you want to stop me. If I go to the Holy Kingdom, I may be separated from the Grand Duke's house forever. She clenched her fist. To say I'm not afraid would be a lie. But, Father, I am the mistress of House of Cliff. As you've heard, Perlos has been overrun by monsters. We don't know when they may attack the Grand Duchy. On the streets, common people stared fearfully into the distance, where black smoke billowed and an ominous aura covered everything. The people of the Grand Duchy were filled with anxiety. The people around me are in danger too. I don't want to be the only one who runs away. The priest was moved by her words and softly said, Lady Erica. Erica's eyes were steady. Of course I'm afraid. Afraid the Holy Kingdom will discover me. Afraid I'll be hunted for the rest of my life. But even with that risk, I still want to contribute what strength I have. Erica clasped her hands before her. I know this is an unreasonable request, but could you secretly teach me how to use holy power? Just as your master Nicholas once did. I want to protect the people of the Grand Duchy. They're like my family. The priest's pupils widened. A trace of resolve flashed in his eyes. At last, he made up his mind. I understand. He turned and led the way. Please follow me. First, I will teach you how to conceal your holy power. Hope shone in Erica's eyes. All right. A few days later, a drop of blood splashed into the holy water basin. Erica covered her mouth with a handkerchief. It had been a week since she began learning holy power. The pain in her throat had clearly improved. Could holy power be healing me? A faint glow flickered in Erica's palm. I'm becoming more and more accustomed to using holy power. I have to practice diligently. My hidden tower must never be discovered. The sound of urgent hoofbeats approached from afar. A flag bearing the imperial crest snapped loudly in the wind. The herald officer shouted, House of Cliff, prepare at once to receive the imperial delegation. The imperial delegation. Erica's expression turned grave. They're from the palace. Everything must be prepared perfectly. The priest hurried forward. Ah, your grace, you've arrived. Lowering his voice, the priest said, We'd better speak in private. Sensing something was wrong, Erica asked, What is it? Looking flustered, he replied, There's a priest in the delegation. What? Erica went pale. Go back to your room and hide. Quickly. Felix turned around, his voice leaving no room for argument. Erica, come here. They're honored guests. We must receive them together. The priest stepped in front of Erica, but her grace is unwell at the moment. Turning to the priest among the delegation, he added, I'd like to take her upstairs for treatment first. Felix's tone softened. Are you all right? Don't push yourself. Go upstairs and rest. I'll apologize to the imperial delegation. Erica clenched her hands tightly. In my current state, if I meet a priest, my holy power could be exposed. I have to avoid them as much as possible. She gave a faint cough and answered in a low voice, Thank you. I'm sorry, Father. Erica turned away. But Father, my holy power must have left traces behind. What if they discover them? Her mind was in chaos, at a complete loss. It should be fine, unless they're a high-ranking priest, the priest said, trying to reassure her. The traces don't matter. Traces alone are rarely enough to identify their owner. All we can do is pray that no high-ranking priest has come. And with my holy power present, it's even less likely that you'll be suspected. His eyes shifted toward the bed. Lady Erica, until the delegation returns to the palace, use illness as an excuse and stay hidden. The priest emphasized it once more. I'll keep repeating that Lady Erica needs rest. Lowering her gaze, Erica answered softly, All right, I understand. Outside the residence, Sebastian frowned. Erica hasn't looked well lately. I'm really worried. Once we've received the delegation, I want to go see her as soon as possible. But just then, as Sebastian was thinking, the sudden sound of hoofbeats cut through his thoughts. He turned toward the entrance of the residence. Looks like I startled you. The blond man wore a smile. He was the crown prince of the Angelica Empire. It's been a long time, Grand Duke of Cliff. Sebastian was startled inwardly. He hadn't expected His Imperial Highness to come in person. Dropping to one knee, he said, "I pay my respects to your Imperial Highness, the Crown Prince." The Crown Prince looked down at him. The Grand Duke's son, you've grown quite a bit since I last saw you." Sebastian rose. "I should have called on you more often. Please forgive my neglect." The Crown Prince let out a soft laugh. "There's no need for that, Grand Duke of Cliff." He looked around, but it seems someone is missing. "I heard your family gained a new member a few years ago." Felix explained, "My daughter-in-law is unwell and is resting. She asked me to convey her apologies." The Crown Prince nodded in understanding. "I see. Then that's fine. I had heard before. Even when she was still Lady Blanche, she was in poor health." Felix's tone changed. "But your Imperial Highness, why have you come in person?" The Crown Prince fell silent for a moment. "I came on Imperial orders." Everyone in the Perlaz territory took their seats. The Crown Prince spoke first. "Thanks to Eclipse's swift report, we were able to contain the initial heavy losses. For that, I offer my thanks. At present, Perlaz territory has been sealed off by the Holy Nation's barrier to prevent the monsters from escaping. As for the monsters that did get out, they are being eliminated by a cliff suppression force so that their existence does not become known to the outside world." The Crown Prince pressed a hand to his forehead. "So far, we've barely managed to keep the situation under control, but at this rate, I don't know how much longer we can endure." He continued, "I've received reports that barriers all across Perlaz are on the verge of collapsing. The monster's claws battered the sacred shield, producing a harsh, cracking sound. Even the priests of the Holy Nation are reaching their limits. We had no choice but to request aid from the palace priests." A priest in white robes rose solemnly. The Crown Prince looked at him grimly. Felix murmured, "The situation is worse than we expected." The Crown Prince confirmed it. "Yes, we have concluded that the barrier alone has reached its limit." The pieces on the chessboard collapsed all at once, symbolizing the breakdown of the front line. The Crown Prince announced, "The Empire's elite knight order will also be deployed soon. But as you know, the soldiers in the capital have no experience fighting monsters. We urgently need the support of the House of a Cliff." Felix raised his eyes. "You mean—" The Crown Prince smiled faintly. "Yes, we hope to borrow the strength of the House of Grand Duke of Cliff." It sounded like a request for aid, but the meaning behind it was obvious. Sebastian's expression hardened. He understood that this was an order. The drums of war had begun to sound. Beneath a blood-red sky, the silhouette of a ruined castle loomed, broken swords planted all across the ground, heralding the approach of a brutal war. It was nearly impossible to refuse a summons from the imperial family. Dusk hung heavily outside the window. There was no other choice. Sebastian answered calmly, "Understood. We will cooperate." He then asked, "Has the scale of the situation inside Perlaz been assessed yet?" The Crown Prince's face darkened. "No, we can't investigate it. We can only enter if the sacred barrier is removed, but the monsters inside keep multiplying." Felix explained, "Until now, barriers have only appeared in forests." It's understandable that the response was delayed. The Crown Prince added, "Yes, Grand Duke. This is the first time a barrier has appeared in a city. We even suspect the possibility of human interference." Sebastian's pupil shrank. Human interference? In that case, whether holy water can stop them the way it did before is difficult to say. The Crown Prince replied with a smile. "Fortunately, holy power still seems to be effective against the monsters." He sighed. "At a time like this, it would be ideal if we had a saintess, the goddess's representative." Sebastian said, "In any case, you have placed a difficult request before the Grand Duke and his son." "No, it is nothing. We simply must do everything we can. But since this is a national crisis," the dome of the temple appeared beneath a violet glow. A greater storm was brewing. The temple's sword and shield emerged in sacred light. The support of the other nobles, as well as the cooperation of the holy capital, is absolutely necessary. We trust the palace will handle all of that. We will obey the order to deploy troops, but diplomacy and support are the palace's responsibility. Sebastian, you've grown into a capable head of the house. The Crown Prince gave a slight nod. Understood. Let us first discuss what we need. He continued. First, we need a priest with high-level holy power. A scroll was slowly unfurled. Written on it was a single name, Father Jorge. A herald's voice echoed through the hall. Return at once to the Holy Nation. Protect the land of the goddess and fulfill your mission. This is your blessing, and also your destiny. Father Jorge went down on one knee. I, Jorge, servant of the goddess, accept her will. Lowering his eyes, he gripped the cross on his chest tightly. This recall is deeply unsettling. If this is because of Perla's crisis, I may not be able to come to the Grand Ducal residence for some time. Her Grace's holy power has stabilized considerably, but her power has only just begun to settle inward. There's no knowing when it might erupt again. He looked up, a trace of resolve in his eyes. There is something I must ask of you. We need to prepare an emergency plan. Meanwhile, supported by her maid, Erica sat up in bed, her gaze calm and resolute. The next day, Felix stood in the courtyard. I'm deeply troubled that we could not receive you more properly. The Crown Prince smiled in reply. Please don't say that. I rested very well. Then his tone shifted. Still, it's a pity I couldn't pay my respects to the Grand Duchess. She is still receiving treatment, I hear. I wonder if she has adjusted. Leaving the Marquis's household at such a young age, she must miss home terribly. The Crown Prince suddenly asked, Come to think of it, Sebastian, does the Grand Duchess know the news about Marquis Blanche? Sebastian froze for a moment. What news do you mean? The Crown Prince turned his face aside, his expression complicated. That the Marquis survived within Perlas. Felix gave a cold snort. That man really is hard to kill. The Crown Prince's gaze deepened. But for the Grand Duchess, wouldn't that be good news? I heard he adored his daughter, Erica. He's a good man, completely unlike Marquis Blanche. He has shown great consideration toward the Grand Duchess. He is one of us. How interesting. Given how poor the relationship between the two families is, how did he manage to earn your trust? The Crown Prince smiled faintly. I'm curious what the future mistress of the house is like. In any case, I hear the Marquis is recovering. Once he is fully healed, inform the Grand Duchess. Yes, Your Imperial Highness. The Crown Prince turned to Father Jorge. Father, will you be leaving with us? The priest shook his head. No, I'll leave later with the knights here. Understood. The Crown Prince turned away. Then Grand Duke Cliff, and you as well, son of the Grand Duke, I leave this in your hands. I will order the Imperial Knight Order to prepare everything you requested. Sebastian said, Call the commander of the knights and the young masters to my office. We're holding an emergency meeting. Sebastian lowered his eyes. Yes, father. He strode away quickly, his figure disappearing at the end of the corridor. A knock sounded. The door slowly opened. Erica raised her head. Oh, father. The priest entered the room. I came to check on your Grace's condition. He smiled faintly. I'm well. I feel much better, father. That's good. But just to be safe, may I examine you? Erica replied softly. I'd be very grateful. She turned to the maid beside her. Joanna, you should take a break too. I'd like to speak with Father Jorge. The maid hesitated. Oh, is that all right? Of course. Very well then. I'll return shortly. The maid bowed and withdrew. The priest shut the door. Your Grace, there is something I must tell you. I will soon be returning to the Holy Nation. The Grand Temple has summoned me. Erica's eyes flew wide. You're leaving? When? I ought to return immediately. But fortunately, I've been permitted to depart on the same day the Grand Ducal Knights set out. So it will be soon. Wait, the Grand Ducal Knights are being deployed? Erica's face turned white. I heard it was an imperial order. The Crown Prince came personally to deliver it, which means the situation in Perlas is extremely grave. I believe that is also why I was summoned. Erica's gaze trembled. Then does that mean Sebastian will go to the battlefield too? The priest answered heavily. Most likely. He commands the Cliff Knight Order. Erica's thoughts drifted far away. A bat clad in a blue military uniform, standing amid clusters of blue flowers, looked lonely and resolute. I want to go to Sebastian right now and ask him myself what's happened. But the priest came to see me personally because of me, someone still so clumsy with holy power. Once he leaves, we may never see each other again. There was kindness in the priest's eyes. If I let this goodwill pass me by, I'll regret it. Erica suddenly rose to her feet. Father, before you leave, I'll do my best to learn. Please teach me how to use holy power. Her eyes were firm. There was no more time to waste. Sebastian's expression was grave. This number of troops isn't enough to push into the heart of Perlas. The barrier may still be active, but we can't mobilize the entire Knight Order. If we leave and a barrier appears at the Grand Ducal residence, a hand in a black glove pressed down on the map. Red flags marked the dangerous zones. Sebastian fell silent for a moment. Then send 80% of the suppression force to Perlas. As for the Knight Order, he raised a hand and stroked his chin, eyes sharp. If we do that, we can dispatch 70% of the Knight Order. That's enough for today. Everyone, return and inform your units. Prepare for deployment. The knights answered in unison, "Yes, your grace." They turned and left, their footsteps echoing through the empty room. "Sebastian, this is your first time commanding a large-scale force. You must be nervous. You should get some rest as well." Sebastian lowered his gaze. "Understood." Alone, he turned and walked into the vast, deserted corridor. His shadow stretched long behind him. His footsteps echoed through the hall. He stopped, and before he knew it, he had arrived in front of Erica's door. In the past, to conceal Erica's sleepwalking, he would always come by at this hour. It must have been the coming deployment that left him unsettled. Just as he was about to turn and leave, hurried footsteps sounded behind him. "Sebastian!" Erica rushed forward and threw her arms around him. Sebastian froze where he stood, his eyes wide with shock. Sebastian gently eased her back. "Erica!" Her eyes were red, her expression flustered, as if she might burst into tears at any moment.